It doesn't get any better than this racing at Daytona.
It's a clean slate, but don't get it twisted. Everyone's here with a chip on their shoulder. Earn your ride. Prove you belong. Win your first championship or defend it. Xfinity's newest king is ready to run it back. But around every turn, someone is coming for that crown. Whether it's a pack of vets revving at the chance to take what's theirs, or a new era of drivers who do things their own way, with a 20-year-old phenom leading the charge. Buckle up. It's gonna be one hell of a ride.
Here we go once again from the Daytona International Speedway. It is finally race day for the NASCAR Xfinity Series after raining out on Saturday. And again this morning, it is go time. How about a little Monday night NASCAR? So good to have you with us on FS1 late on this Monday evening with Michael Waltrip, the two-time Daytona 500 champion, and Andy Petree, who's won here as a crew chief. I'm Adam Alexander. This is going to be some fun. Michael, tell me about these drivers who've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and now they got to go.
Man, Adam, they've been waiting since November. I mean, we wrapped up our championship in Phoenix, and everybody's eyes, everybody's attention turned to Daytona. And now we just sit around and wait more. It's really frustrating, and you can get really have anxiety about what's going to go down because you have so much time to think about it. But right now, this is the best they felt all day. Buckled in, confident about what they're going to do. And Andy, we're going to see some wild racing. That Daytona 500 was awesome. Can't wait to see what these guys do.
This is some of the best racing you'll see in the Xfinity Series here at Daytona. They did get to qualify. That was one of the things that I didn't think we would do, but we did that. We see the faster cars are up front. I'm looking forward to a really good race. I hope that they can keep things together and we don't have too many people running into each other like we saw in the truck race, and we can get a really competitive race going here.
You know why he mentioned qualifying?
Oh, yeah.
Because his day job is at Richard Childress Racing, and oh, by the way, they were 1-2.
Yeah, we
in the
came up
qualifying
empty
session.
in the 500. Maybe we'll do a little better in this one.
I understand. Jesse Love, though, an impressive talent. First ever start in the series, goes out and puts it on the pole.
That's pretty amazing, really. You think about, somebody getting their first race and it being on the pole at Daytona.
Tell me just a little bit about this young man. We're just getting to know him. 20 years old, dominated ARCA last year. What's he like when he's in meetings and at the shop? Just confident?
Yeah, he's got that quiet confidence about him. He's a really good young man. I've really enjoyed spending time with him. But he does have that confidence. It's not cocky, but he is confident in his ability.
And the guy beside him, he can get it done.
Well, we know that guy can get it done, especially at these drafting racetracks. And we're looking forward to a good race out of him. Maybe Jesse Love could learn a few things from him as we get kind of through the middle of this thing.
I bet you Jesse Love is thinking, I'm going to teach him a few things.
That's probably what he's thinking.
I rewind to last year when Austin won the pole, had radio issues, comes down pit road before the green, drives all the way through the field, and he's able to win the opening stage. Let's listen in on team radio with Jesse Love.
I got you, RC.
Yeah, buddy, y'all have you a good night here. It's your first night in the old Xfinity. Guys, take care of them on pit road. Danny, you've done a good job. Let's go finish it off. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, he's talking about Danny Stockman. We got Danny back on the box for RCR. What a great guy, man. He's so competitive, and he works so hard at this kind of racing. It meant a lot to him to get this pole.
Pacing the field tonight, the Toyota GR Supra. Love takes that outside lane. And before we go green, let's hear from our pit reporters. We start things off with the man that won here 2014, Regan Smith.
Adam, you talk about guys with confidence. Look no further than Riley Herbst. 5 top 5s to end the season, including a win at his home track of Vegas. Keep an eye on him tonight. Josh?
Also keep an eye on the 15 of Haley Deegan, moving up to the Truck Series, to the Xfinity Series. Had a start at Vegas, finished 13th. That gave her the confidence that she can perform at this level. Look out for her as another driver to watch tonight.
A long day for Josh and Regan. We thank them for hanging with us. The wait is finally over. The off-season is gone. Part 2 of our Daytona double, the season opener for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 120 laps, 300 miles, opening stage, 30 laps. The rookie in the outside lane, pole sitter Jesse Love. Off we go from the world center of racing.
That outside lane getting a good start here.
Got the Chevrolet of Parker Figgerman lined up behind Jesse Love, but I figured Jesse was going to go to the bottom and get in front of his teammate.
I have a feeling he might have had that coming. I think they probably planned that, but it's working right now.
They made that look easy. It's not always easy to execute, especially when everyone in the field knows you're going to try and pull it off.
Yeah, they're trying for you not to do that.
Inside lane in the 16, the white and black 16, little orange. That's A.J. Allmendinger. He just ran the Daytona 500, finished top 10.
And check out that white car, second in line on the bottom, Shane Van Gisbergen. He's got his eyes wide open right now. I can guarantee you that. He's got to learn how to draft. Never done this before, and it's going to be a real challenge.
Yeah, this is definitely trial by fire when you start that race up front with all these guys that have so much experience at this kind of racing.
Comes from New Zealand, three-time supercar champion, 81 wins there. Pulling out of line in the 20, John Hunter Nemechek, another one of the drivers doing double duty today, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, he wasn't satisfied with just riding in line right there. He just pulled down, tried to make it the head of that inside lane, see if he can make it happen.
And that lined up a bunch of Chevys up top, and they are pushing. There's Jeremy Clements in the 51, South Carolina driver.
Parker Retzloff in the 31, that black Chevrolet down low. Top 10, both races here a year ago for the youngster from Wisconsin.
I think I heard ECR Engines, the Chevy engine group, had 17 engines in this race.
We talk about strength in numbers. We said that during the 500 broadcast. We'll say it again tonight. But here in this Xfinity race, 38 cars, 27 of them Chevrolets. The bow tie brigade can hook up and make it happen in the draft.
Yeah, and that's why I think John Hunter Nemechek said, I don't want to be a part of this. Let me dive to the bottom and see if I can put my Toyota in the front of this race. He's got a nice push there by Allmendinger, and there you see Van Gisbergen right behind as well.
Yeah, A.J. Allmendinger is so good at this style of racing, and he knows when to give somebody a push, when not to, how to get off their bumper when they're starting to get in the corner, not get them sideways. He's really good at a restrictor plate type race.
This is what these drivers needed to do. You know, they're too wide, they're strung out pretty good, but they're learning. They're seeing how their cars handle, what kind of grip they've got, how they can pull up, how they can draft. There's a lot going on right now behind the wheel. It looks like maybe they're just running around the line, but Andy, they're on the gas, they're lifting, they're trying to get runs. They're understanding what their car has and how they can get to the front.
Yeah, I was looking at the lap times. They're not really soft pedaling around here like we saw some of the race happen in the 500. Some of those guys were really kind of saving fuel and not really running full throttle. These guys look like they're pretty well hammered down.
I think the Xfinity guys know one thing. Yeah, hammer down.
That's right, wide open. And these stages are only 30 laps, so they can go all the way on a tank of fuel without having to stop like we saw the green flag stops in the stages in the 500.
I was going to say the balance is different here in the way you approach the race because of that. Shorter stages, and you know you can make it to the end of the stage on fuel.
I'm pretty sure you have intimate information about the strategy for RCR today. I talked to America's crew chief, Larry McReynolds. He said he thinks the play is to run to the end of the stage, and then run to about lap 75 and get gas and be done on pit road.
That's pretty much it. I'm not going to give away anything, but I think that's pretty close to what the winning strategy is going to be.
Maybe get 4 tires at the end of that second stage.
If you're going to change tires, that would be the time to do it.
Look at those cars move around.
I'm telling you, that thing is all over the place.
Listen to Daniel Suarez.
Out of the gas.
Suarez, 2016 Series champion, full-time in Cup now. Comes from Monterrey, Mexico. He's had quite a career since coming to the States. Won a Cup race last year, 2 years ago, at Sonoma.
And won an awesome NASCAR Mexico race out at the Coliseum in L.A. That was cool to see him win there.
Austin Hill running second right now.
Initial thoughts, how's it feel? It's okay. The 2 cars pretty good. Copy that.
Crew Chief Alex Johnson just understanding Regan. What are they saying down there in the pits? Everything going good?
Well, Michael, you hear Austin Hill saying how good his car is right now. That's important. There was some small changes aerodynamically to these race cars before this Daytona race. They put slits in the back window to allow some of the air to escape. Austin told me yesterday he felt like that changed the handling of his race car, that this first stage was going to be critical in order to make the right adjustment. And keep in mind, these guys won't get a lot of chances to adjust. They need to get it right early on so they can be good later on.
Yeah, those slots that they put in the rear glass is kind of like, it matches what the Cup guys are doing for cooling cooling the drivers to get air moving in the car. It does make the cars make a little more rear downforce, so it changes the balance a little bit. The guys, got a pretty good handle on it, but I honestly think that it's going to make the cars more stable, possibly in these drafting situations.
The other thing I thought in regard to handling, these teams got 50 minutes of practice here on Friday, and it was during the day, much warmer than what it is now, and they certainly were not in a draft like this. How much did they learn then that can transfer to tonight?
Yeah, they could learn a few things. They didn't get many laps, but they did at least figure out what their car was going to feel like.
7 laps in, and the rookies led them all. Jesse Love in front of his teammate Austin Hill. Kligerman, Allgaier, Alfredo, the top 5. We're rolling in Daytona. We had to wait 48 hours, but it's finally time for the NASCAR Xfinity Series to open up 2024. 11 laps in to the opening stage. Jesse Love started on the pole. He's led our first, now 11 laps of the race. Austin Hill, his teammate, hanging right there with him.
Yeah, we're approaching halfway of this stage, and it's single file right now. I'm trying to figure out who is the one that's going to make the line to make it double file to see if they can score stage points.
Well, we saw John Hunter be the first one to jump out to the bottom, but he's fallen in line here. It'd be a difficult. You're going to need 2 or 3 guys to go with you.
They'll be more apt to do it later in the stage. They won't do it in the middle because they don't want to get hung out.
The question is, there's 2 questions. Who does it and when do they pull it off, right? So who is this Jesse Love kid? Well, he's 19 years old, grew up in California, and he's been picking him up, putting him down at the racetrack since he was 5 years old. What he did last year in ARCA, winning 10 of 20 races and claiming the championship, is remarkable, and he's off to a great start in his Xfinity career, Josh.
Yeah, and Jesse Love is a kid that is very confident in his abilities. I asked him the other day as he set expectations for the season. He says, I don't make goals, I don't make expectations, I just go out there and perform. But he credits his teammate Austin Hill a lot for giving him some advice going into the year. He said most older guys won't be that open with giving you their notes on things. He said Austin Hill was an open book and really helped him out leading into this race, guys.
Yeah, Austin's a great teammate. I mean, he really is. He mentors these guys, and he's just been one of those guys that has helped our Xfinity program grow into a better program. So I see him and Jesse being really good teammates. And Sheldon Creed drove here last year, and he was a great teammate as well. And him and Austin Hill work good together. So I think Austin's just a real easy guy to be around.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed's back there behind John Hunter in his Toyota. So see how those 2 team up. And there you see in that blue car, Anthony Alfredo doing a nice job up in the top 5 here early in the going in Daytona.
Yeah, he did a good job in the Cup race too there for most of it. He was up there in top 10 a few times and really digging with those guys.
Alfredo driving the 5-car full-time this season for Our Motorsports. You see Dude Wipes as the sponsor. Had all that rain over the weekend. No one really had anything to do. He had his umbrella out, walking around the campground,
I saw that.
handing out packets of Dude Wipes.
He was putting them in the bathrooms too.
He was. That's master marketing right there.
Is.
He is a hustler, though. Works hard at the racetrack, in the garage, behind the wheel, and during the week trying to put those sponsors together. And here he is running inside the top 5.
Right behind him, see Sammy Smith in that 8 car, and then we're on board with Daniel Suarez. Daniel's back in the 10th position, running around the top. Wendy's has been here all weekend giving away biggie bags. Be a pretty big deal if Daniel could go to victory lane.
Would be a biggie, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I got one of those little Frosties they were giving away. They're pretty good.
You look at that 14 car, and that's really a 5th Colleague car racing here at Daytona. They're running it under the Bobby Dotter SS Greenlight umbrella, but Colleague did bring it down, prepare it, and Daniel's racing it for them. And good to see the 16 Series champ back racing at Daytona. On board with our reigning champ, Cole Custer, top 5 when we came here last August.
And what about the end of the season for that Monster Energy Ford ahead of him? Riley Herbst, he just finished on fire. Got that big win and then reeled off 5 top 5 finishes, just strong at the end of the season. That was really cool to see, too.
Yeah, I think he's really coming into his own. Like you said, those last races were super strong. I think he's done really well in the Cup races that he's run for Stuart Haas and for Rick Ware. Those have been strong races for him, too. So he's gotten some attention in that Cup garage.
Adam, you mentioned all the Chevys. If I'm a Ford and a Toyota, I'm going to say, hey, guys.
There we go. We got a Ford making a move here. Let's see if somebody goes with him.
Let's do this together. Yeah. Let's Ford and Toyota go versus Chevy.
Well, right now they're not. Looks like they're arguing over this spot right here with Daniel Suarez.
You got to like Riley's spirit. He said, I got to go.
I do like that.
Nobody went with him.
You said Ford and Toyota.
It's a little too early, I think.
Should go together. We had a Ford and a Chevy that about got together on track.
Yeah.
A couple of drivers racing side by side that just finished up the Daytona 500. Herbst was 24th. Suarez ended up 34th after getting in that crash. Ryan Truex in the 19.
Okay, look like he just made a play. He made a pole there that wasn't there. That was tight.
I'm going to predict the spotter did not say.
I don't think he did
all
either.
Clear.
I think he did after he was in line.
Yes.
Sam Mayer dives at the bottom. They're getting antsy. They want to do something about this train running around the top. You see Sam there, first guy on the bottom in that orange car.
Yeah, you see that gap. That gap's going to close, and when that momentum comes, you'll see some guys jump out.
There'll be 13 to go this time by. I think everyone needs to exercise some patience, you know. First 10 laps were calm. Now they're starting to get with it as we head to the final third of stage 1.
That's Sam Mayer down there on the bottom.
It is.
All by himself.
He tried.
Yep, nothing there.
Everyone take a deep breath. Mayer slides in 20th. We go to break on board with Sheldon Creed. He's 8th. Jesse Love continues to show the way. 10 laps to go. Stage number 1 at Daytona. Remember when we went to break and they were running single file? All right,
Yeah,
we're getting with the program now.
Yeah, we're racing now.
Those guys that are outside the top 10 are just trying anything they can to get that bottom line going. But so far, they've just had to give it a shot and then bail. You can see still 3 guys down on the bottom led by Riley Herbst trying it out, trying to get there.
Yeah, we got 9 to go to the end of the stage. I'm not sure if we'll see anybody. Maybe some of the guys that are not running for points to duck down pit road and maybe get a little bit of fuel and line up on the restart up front.
Yeah, you can stop and get gas and not lose a lap. And if you come with 2 to go, if you're back 10, say you're John Hunter Nemechek, we know he doesn't care about points. Will he take that chance to grab that track position?
Yeah, and you got, Daniel Suarez. You got a handful of guys that
Ryan
probably
Truex, another one.
Yeah, don't really care much about point.
Oh, here we go.
John Hunter out of line, 6th. A little drafting help from his new teammate at Joe Gibbs Racing. On board here, this is the Toyota on board Sheldon Creed.
There we go.
And we have our first caution of the night. It's going to be Sam Mayer in the 1.
Well, there's another car involved.
That is not good.
Kyle Weatherman, the 91.
Trying to figure out how those other 2 cars got caught up in that.
It looked like the white car. Is that
Haley Deegan?
Is that Haley?
I thought it was the 15.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
She might have been part of the start of that. I think her hood was bent up when
She arrived, yeah.
Yeah, when we saw Sam the first time.
Oh, Daniel Suarez.
As well.
Willie.
8 laps to go, first stage. And we have our first caution, and it's taken out some really, really good race cars.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to watching Haley battle and Sam, Daniel as well. Those, like you said, Adam, just good race cars. See what if we can tell what happens here.
This is the Wendy's on board.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Looked like a big stack up, really.
Yeah, and Daniel got out of the gas, and whoever was right behind Daniel didn't see the stock up or didn't get the word. And there's Haley running into the back of the Wendy's car.
I think about Sam Mayer, and I rewinded this race a year ago, and he was in the hunt, had a chance to win it on the final lap, and if you remember, coming off turn 2, got upside down. Scary crash for him, and tonight eliminated
pretty hard
early.
hit right there.
Boy, that was a hard hit.
Yeah, you don't like to see those angles.
Tough break for a driver who ended last season so strong.
You could see Daniel's eyes. He looked up in the mirror because he knew he was off the gas, and he wanted to make sure that the person behind him wasn't going to hit him. And as soon as he looked up, bam, contact.
So how do you avoid that? I mean, very difficult.
You can't see 2 cars ahead of you, so it's just tough. See the fire come out the exhaust, somebody let off, and bam.
When we restart to end stage 1, there will be less than 5 laps to go, and Jesse Love will be the race leader. We're under caution for the first time tonight. 4 drivers involved, including the 14 of Daniel Suarez.
Daniel was off the gas and got hit from behind.
Yeah, I'm just not sure why he had to get out of the gas so abruptly.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just all in a line running, looked fairly smooth, and then, wow, this is not what you normally see here. You know, most of these wrecks happen when they're running 2 or 3 wide and running into the side of each other.
Clearly, drivers are hungry for a big win in Daytona today, but Trackhouse drivers Daniel Suarez and Shane Van Gisbergen were hungry for a win at the Wendy's Biggie Golf Course. This is Go Biggie, sponsored by Wendy's.
All right, welcome to the first annual Wendy's Go Biggie Golf Invitational. We've got Trackhouse stars Daniel Suarez and Shane Van Gisbergen, and the biggest thing about today is some sweet prizes. So they get the Wendy's Biggie bag.
Our amigo Daniel Suarez, he's up first.
And coming up next, it is Shane, and you know what? I know these two are friends on the track and teammates.
That was all gas and no brakes. Congratulations to our amigo Daniel Suarez, the Biggie bag. Woo! Woo!
I think the hat would actually clarify as going Biggie, you know? That was a major statement.
Yeah, it was.
There's some Biggie traffic at that Wendy's in the infield. Adam swung through there and got me a Frosty, get a burger.
Good stuff. For Daniel Suarez, this is his 7th start here in an Xfinity car. Only a 7th or 8th place finish is his best that he's had, so this is probably a disappointment for him.
Well, had a chance to win the 500, run it up front,
he was right
gets
there.
Crashed in the big one late, finishes 34th. Here's what we're talking about. On board with the 99 right here.
Oh, listen to that. He had the gas wide open. He saw a hole. Just couldn't quite get through it.
Well, he was in a really good spot, too.
I knew he got involved in the crash, and watching the replay, I still, looking at all that clean track in front of him, was convinced that he was going to drive through unscathed.
Listen. Out of the gas, right back in it, but
yeah, he was standing in it. Nothing he could do.
Crew Chief Andy, would you forego stage points right here and get that track position for the next stage?
Well, if I'm trying to run for points, I think I would stay out. If you're up in the top 10, you're in the stage points now. I think you take them. If you're not in the stage points, there's no reason not to come down.
We got some takers. Justin Allgaier, first one out of the top 5 to come down.
And these are series regulars. These are drivers that want and need those points. They said, I'll come down and get a little fuel, maybe some tires.
We're going to mix it up. That's what these stage breaks do. They give you an opportunity to use strategy to get track position. And that's exactly what we're seeing.
It's going to be a handful of laps to make it up, though.
Ryan Sieg, Sammy Smith, Jeremy Clements, Patrick Emmerling, Blaine Perkins, all making pit stops here.
They'll all cycle to the front after the stage break, and the other cars pit. But
how many of them can get there before the stage break?
How many times have we seen that, where you write a guy off and say, well, they pit, they give up the stage points, and then
they show up.
In a place like Daytona, they rally late in the stage, last couple of laps, maybe the last lap, and they find their way into the top 10. Josh?
Yeah, let's get an update on the 7 of Justin Allgaier. The debate was whether to come in or stay out for a while. They left the decision up to Justin Allgaier, who said ultimately that they should come in, and they made left side tire changes, fuel adjustments as well, guys.
Josh Riley Herbst in the 98 car. There was no decision needed to be made there. They were running 18th, decided to go ahead and pit now, make some adjustments in fuel. That car a little bit too loose with the back on entry, needed to tighten that up. That means the back tires were sliding. He didn't have the grip that he wanted. And the 21 of Austin Hill, there was a little bit of a debate. Austin felt like if they pitted, he could get back up through the field because his car was that good. Ultimately, they decided to stay out. He's a little bit loose right now as well, in particular in the wake of other cars.
And you know what's getting ready to get serious is when the stage ends and our rookie that's been on the pole and led all these laps, we're going to put him back in the pack.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do coming through the traffic now.
He's going to learn a great deal, a great lesson here when we get ready to go back racing.
Yeah, he's led 26 laps, and that's the most laps that a rookie in his debut has ever led since Kurt Busch did in his debut when he led 70 laps at Texas and actually ended up the winner. Now, keep in mind, he was a Cup driver when he did that.
Cup champion.
Cup champion.
Now you haven't been in the booth for a while. You forgot your tie, but you did bring the stat book, I see.
I got my stat guys. Same guys. It's the same guys who are up here.
They hand it to you because you can read. You know that? They're still celebrating down there, Michael.
That's what it's all about right there. You
might see them here in the morning still celebrating.
Celebrate that the rest of your life.
What an odd circumstance to win the 500, and as you celebrate, a race is going on behind you, right? Congratulations to William Byron. Congratulations to Hendrick Motorsports. Wow. On their 40th anniversary, 40 years ago today is when they got things going at HMS, and they come back here over 300 wins all time and another victory in a great American race.
Yeah, and I heard William say his dad was a little under the weather, so we want to give a shout out to Bill Byron. Bill's a buddy of ours. We play golf together, and certainly wonderful family. Hope Bill's doing all right.
Doing the choose, we'll have our restart, ending stage 1 with 2 laps to go. Spring football is about to hit a whole new level as the USFL and the XFL come together to unleash the United Football League. Opening weekend kicks off March 30th on Fox with the USFL champion Birmingham Stallions taking on the XFL champion Arlington Renegades. The UFL this spring on ABC, ESPN, FS1, and Fox.
And you know what, Adam? The Rock says, gentlemen, start your engines today. He's been in Daytona for a couple of days. It's really cool to see The Rock here.
I can promise you he never missed a day in the weight room.
It didn't look like it. I saw him in the infield.
I saw him sitting on the pre-race stage yesterday with Jamie McMurray, Kevin Harvick, and Clint Boyer. And boy,
that's a
look
healthy,
at him.
Healthy man right there.
I'd let him be the first one off the bus, you know?
Seems like a good guy, though.
There's Daniel, or excuse me, Ross Chastain, Daniel's teammate. Look at The Rock signing some autographs. Look at that smile. Just a fun guy to be around.
And the fact that he came back today and did his job after being here yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't bail out
in the rain.
He didn't bail when we got rained out, did he?
All right, Andy, are the team orders for the whole race?
I would say in this
Is
situation,
the two gonna pull down in front of the 21?
I would expect that.
Yeah, but the Dipsy Doodle or whatever.
Is that what you call it now?
Joey Logano calls it something. It's dangerous because if you mess around too much, that second row can jump on you.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah. I think Joey calls it the okie dokie.
Okie dokie, Dipsy Doodle.
I've got to be honest, I have
tried
no
the okie dokie last year in the 500 with Austin Dillon and Kyle. Didn't work.
The okie dokie ended with oh no, right? They've added a lap. We'll come back for the restart after you watch this on FS1.
It's like really slick. I'd go tell somebody. Felt like ice when I went over it and was swerving back and forth. At least tell the 2 to be ready to give me some room. I don't know what's going to happen when I get down there, if it's going to turn good or not. Yeah, I mean, he's got the same situation. He's going to have to semi-crowd you because his whole top length.
All right, so it's going to pick up when we get to turn 1, it sounds like. Slick down there.
Yep, looks like our guy's going to be the first to know.
And this restart comes with exactly 1 lap remaining in the stage. Love outside of Hill.
Nice push there by the 5 of Anthony Alfredo right in the back of Hill.
Custer got tires outside lane trying to make it 3 wide to end the stage.
He's your champion. He knows how important these stage points are.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the old okie dokie's in play here. RCR guys are racing it out.
Allmendinger changing lanes in the pack. Teammates side by side down the back straightaway.
We saw in the start of the race where the 21 let the 2 in, and it didn't happen there, and the 2's getting a great push from Kligerman.
He did get a good push, but they didn't play like they did at the beginning of the race, where it looked like Austin Hill maybe let Jesse Love down in front to get him nose to tail. They're racing for these points right here.
What about a first stage win too?
Love looks good outside lane, back to the start finish line.
It's close.
Photo finish to end the opening stage.
That's about as close as the qualifying round was. They were 3,000ths apart in qualifying. I don't think that was any further.
You agreed too close to call. That was incredible.
Okay, let's look at it. By just an inch.
By that much.
Wow.
Jesse Love wins the opening stage at Daytona.
Drop a load on him.
Our second caution of the evening is out because we have wrapped up stage number 1. Our first caution because of a crash at lap 23, and I'm happy to report that Daniel Suarez, Sam Mayer, Haley Deegan, Kyle Weatherman all have been released from the infield care center. And here is our stage 1 winner, Jesse Love. Starts on the pole, leads over 30 laps, and gets a stage win. I mean, his career is off to a hot start.
It's been hot since he buckled in at the age of 5, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How'd y'all find this guy? What made you think that this guy, Jesse Love, was somebody that would be perfect for RCR?
Maybe those 10 wins in ARCA last year. And the championship, yeah, he's proven himself. You know, it's always taking a chance when you go to the next level, but we feel really good about him.
I believe you have a really, really fast car. Pat yourself on the back, Danny. Ain't me, bud. It's everybody here.
That's Danny Stockman, crew chief. And like I said on the open there, he is one competitive guy. You want him on your pit box.
And you know, Adam, I was joking about the okie dokie or dipsy doodle, whatever it is. It's a plan between teammates, and it doesn't necessarily have to be teammates. When you're on that front row, if you're on the outside, the guy on the inside might just drag a little bit and let him get down in front of you so you can push the guy you want to push. But Andy, with a stage point on the line and one lap around this place, it was game on.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun to watch. And we tried to figure out what the margin of victory was at the line, and all of our electronics said it was 0.000. Had to go to the tape.
See the cars on the left outside there staying out after the strategy call before the end of that stage.
Allmendinger and Allgaier will be the first 2 in that category. They've already made pit stops. Everybody else coming at the end of stage 1, Regan.
Adam, the 48 of Parker Kligerman had a great first stage. Felt like he just needed a little bit more push, and he could have got the job done. Otherwise, the car has been good for him. And the 21 of Austin Hill, they're going to stop him a little bit short with other cars coming around and going to tighten him up just a little bit right now, finally. Josh.
27 of Jeb Burton, happy with his car so far. A super speedway winner last season, looking to add another one to his resume. And the 2 of Jesse Love, how about this debut, has led the most laps, a stage winner. Happy with that car as well. And you heard him talking about the speed they got in that car already, guys.
Mixed bag on strategy. Some drivers going with 2, others going with 4. We'll reset the running order when we come back and get stage 2. And I hope it ends like stage 1. It was a thriller. Jesse Love by that much. Getting lined up for the second stage. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona International Speedway with Michael Waltrip and Andy Petrie. I'm Adam Alexander. 2 of the men in the booth tonight have on a tie. 1 does not. Here's your stage 1 point
2 guys
breakdown.
have won at Daytona and 1 hasn't.
That hurt. Let's look at the stage points, should we?
Yeah, that's how I feel right now.
That was a great comeback. Yeah, it really was.
Me and Andy ain't gonna
Those
let
must
you
be
come at us
Jesse
like
Love
that.
fans, you think?
It's a Monday night in Daytona, and I'm so happy to be here. This is a beautiful day.
The drivers that pitted under caution at the end of the stage will restart from 14th on back. Up front, those that came prior to stage in. Front row, A.J. Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier.
This could get very dicey. Nice push there on the outside. You see Riley Herbst right on the back of A.J. Allmendinger.
97, third car in line outside the white vehicle. That's Shane Van Gisbergen racing in the draft in the Xfinity Series for the first time. This is his debut, and boy, is he impressing early on.
Just got to learn every move, Adam. You're going to just take in so much. If you're a veteran, you're learning right now. If you're a rookie, your eyes are wide open. Watch that 2 car. See how he can get through this crowd.
Yeah, this is part of the race that's kind of concerning for me, just to watch what kind of moves he's going to make here, and he's not being patient.
He got 4 tires when they came down pit road. A lot of guys took 2. We discussed the drivers that stayed out.
I like that little move there the 2 car made. Bounced right up in the middle.
Wasn't a lot of room there, though.
No, but he made it look easy. He didn't pressure too much.
Allgaier jumps to the lead. Reigning champ behind him, Cole Custer. I want to report Anthony Alfredo had an uncontrolled tire on the cyclist stop, so he had to start from the rear. And look at Blaine Perkins, the blue car inside lane, driving that 29 full-time. There goes Jesse Love.
I was worried about that.
Third caution of the night. Nemechek involved. Allmendinger, Austin Hill.
Did not like the situation he was in. And now got Austin Hill caught up in it. I don't know if he's got any damage or not.
I don't think any damage for Austin Hill.
Yeah, the 20 turned hard left. He got into my...
Doesn't look like anybody hit anything very hard. Bounced off each other and slid through the grass.
But if you were to make a list pre-race of contenders for the win, a whole bunch of them caught up right there.
Well, the move to the middle was too risky.
Yeah, this is not good. Yeah.
It was too risky this early. He made it look smooth, but when he got there, he got stuck. Have to see if he got a little contact or why it went around, but putting your car in the middle's a tough place to be. Let's see if we can see if there's contact or what exactly happens. See the third car back in the center. The two, there's pushing going on.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit of contact from behind.
And it went wrong right there. Was that John Hunter? That
looked like John Hunter, yeah. Just a little bit too much of a push. Yeah, they're trying to make that center lane surge, and they almost have to be touching each other, you know, bump drafting so they can make that happen. And it just, cars are not quite stable enough for that.
Look at that simultaneous slide for the 20 and 21, and Austin did a really good job of righting the ship and hanging on to it. He's got damage, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Just a lot of wind in the middle of that racetrack when you're the center of three wide. Your car's getting buffeted from both directions, and if you get any little bit too aggressive with the steering wheel, you'll get behind in your steering in a hurry. This should be wild. We're going to hop on board with Austin Hill as he slides through the grass. I don't think any damage to that car.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I don't see any.
Also saw Sammy Smith driving through the grass. This is the Bennett Transportation onboard camera.
Yeah, he did get some. He probably did get some damage from that.
Right front. He had to like his spirit, though. He saw him starting to get sideways and saw that open track ahead and was able to just gun it. But unfortunately, John Hunter came down. Watch Austin.
And listen. The audio would make you think the car is destroyed. Yeah.
And there, look, it's anything but destroyed.
Yeah, this side looks pretty good. I think that right front's going to show a little damage, though.
Parker Kligerman, a quasi teammate, running for Big Machine. This is his style of racing. So good in the draft. Major disappointment for them after a great qualifying run.
Yeah, that's the one tool you want to leave in the toolbox. You don't want to be using it.
Taping up John Hunter Nemechek, who nearly won here a season ago, and there's the 5 of Anthony Alfredo.
Look at that list of cars involved. A lot of those guys, Regan, we see on that list, we had circled for potential winners.
Adam, that's right. And you see one of the cars on pit road still right now, the 20 of John Hunter Nemechek. A little miscommunication. They didn't have enough damage to where they felt like they had to stay here. They thought they could get back around. They didn't find out the pace car was as close as it was to the end of pit road till it was too late. So now they're parked here. They're going to lose a lap and go ahead and fix it right now and fix it right.
But you lose lap this early, there's going to be more cautions. We know we'll get one at the end of stage 2. So chances are at some point you'll find your way back on the lead lap via the free pass. All these teams have 6 minutes to work on their car when it comes to the damaged vehicle policy. And if you can't get it repaired in that period of time, you will be done for the night.
Such a strong start to this race for Anthony Alfredo and all the damage there.
I just go back to the penalty. So you have to restart in the back, and if you hadn't had the penalty, maybe
you'd have been ahead of all that.
Get caught up in it. Justin Allgaier leading at Daytona, under caution for the 3rd time tonight. It's our 2nd crash. Got started middle of the pack, and one of the victims, our pole sitter, the rookie, Jesse Love. We've mentioned it a few times. Several changes in the offseason in the Xfinity Series. Let's do Xfinity Kart. We start with Joe Gibbs Racing. Nemechek goes to Cup, but he's back to share a ride with Eric Almirola. Chandler Smith comes over. So does Sheldon Creed. Colleague racing is all mixed together now. Hemrick goes to Cup. We said Chandler Smith is gone. Allmendinger is back. You got Josh Williams, Shane Van Gisbergen, Daniel Dye racing here tonight. And then there's your group at RCR.
Yep. There's Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill. That was last year. Now we got Jesse Love and Austin Hill.
A 29 and a 19-year-old.
Watch out for the bananas.
There they go sliding off the track. You got all that, Michael?
I do. I like the changes that RCR made because I can keep up with that.
Because there were 2 and only one left.
One change. I'm down with that. The other stuff was confusing.
Regan?
Adam, just to update the 21 of Austin Hill on pit road again for the 2nd time, working on some repairs, a little bit of right front damage, had to raise the splitter up just a little bit. It got knocked down. The biggest problem, though, the grill got filled up with grass. They were able to take a blower, get that cleaned out. The team just told me everything's good now.
Still over 25 cars on the lead lap after we cleaned up the crash, and several have been to pit road.
You mentioned Josh Williams getting this opportunity with Colleague. He just got pushed back behind the wall. So, unfortunately for Josh, he's out of the race.
Think about the night for Colleague. We had Suarez, who was caught up in the crash. You just mentioned Josh Williams. Shane Van Gisbergen got some of the action on that crash. Daniel Dye, so did A.J. Allmendinger. So they've been banged up in the early portion of this race tonight.
Looks like Frankie Muniz got squeezed in the middle. Tried to get in a place that wasn't there. A little bit damaged. You don't have to go to the garage.
Frankie, one of those drivers making his Xfinity debut here tonight. Now we look at our Toyota top performers. 5 Toyotas in the race tonight, led by Chandler Smith. Haven't talked a whole lot about him. Won last season, is a rookie, driving for Colleague. Did that at Richmond and leading the way for the Toyota group tonight. And Sage Karam coming from the back with an engine change, driving the 26 for Sam Hunt Racing.
How impressive was that drive at Richmond for Chandler Smith? I mean, he just, on the short track, whooped him. And he has a lot of talent. It's been fun to see him get great opportunities.
He's back in the Toyota camp after last year being a Chevy driver at Colleague. Prior to that, driving for Kyle Busch in the Craftsman Truck Series. Here's his bio, just a reminder of who he is. And I would say he's a kid, and by age he is, but gosh, he's married and he's got 2 children of his own. Started racing at a very young age. So good when it came to ARCA competition, 9 wins there. Mentioned his time at KBM, 5 truck victories for Kyle, and then last year winning at Richmond. One of our great rookies in 2023 made the playoffs.
Yeah, his star is rising for sure. I think he's got a ton of potential.
Or did I make a bad decision there? What do you think happened there? John Hunter Nemechek happened to you. You'll learn that lesson the hard way. That's part of the deal. I haven't seen it from head on yet, but him behind us, I knew it was a bad situation to begin with. That's for, yeah, I just thought I got an off-center push.
A ton of damage for the 2 of Jesse Love to fix. He had to come back down to pit road. He was concerned about being on the splitter. You saw all the damage to the right front. They took a round out of the right rear, but still some concern for Jesse Love after such a strong start to this race, guys.
You know, Andy, when he dove up into the middle, did Jesse Love, he did it so smoothly. I thought that was a nice move, but then he just got stalled out in the middle, and you hit me on the arm and you shook your head no. Good. And he got stuck in the middle and just got crazy on the back.
Well, you got a guy that's just I mean, he's a real rookie in the series. You just don't want to be in that position, especially at this point of the race. No, he didn't cause the wreck, but he was in a really bad spot. And
he put himself in a bad spot. But you live and you learn.
Closing.
You got to learn them the hard way.
Good news for him. Won stage 1, got 10 stage points.
That'll
help minimize the damage at the end of the night. About halfway home in stage 2, front row for the restart. Allgaier and Cole Custer. Riley Herbst in the 98 giving a big shove to Allgaier.
I'm going to give him the most aggressive award for the start of this race. He's pushed anything he can and tried to get down low. He's been all over the place trying to make things happen. Got his teammate right up there with him now. Custer on the bottom. Custer to the top.
That was a pretty aggressive little move right there.
Not done yet.
Nope. I don't think that Allgaier can, he can't block both of them.
They go 3 wide, outside Herbst, inside Custer, put the 00 on point at Daytona.
And put the Blaine Perkins machine trying to get up into the lead.
Digging on the bottom.
How close that side drafting is.
You can block 2 lanes, but can you block 3 coming from behind? Custer's got a whole lot going on in his rearview mirror right now.
Custer's experienced, our champion, as you talked about. He knows how to manage the situation. Try to slide up high, get that high line lined up again like they had early and log some laps. That's what this is all about. See the 32 there of Jordan Anderson pushing into the back of Sage Karam.
That was a very aggressive push. Lucky to get away with that one.
Oh, that was so close.
Yes. Going to have to ease up on that one.
Look at some of the names in the top 10. We talk about Blaine Perkins, Ryan Sieg's up there. You guys touched on Sage Karam, Parker Retzlaff. Brandon Jones needs a good run after a disappointing 2023.
This is a lot. It's a lot to run 3 wide around this racetrack. We saw the Cup guys do it lap after lap. Finally bit them. You can do it for a while. You just can't do it all day. And this is really early in the race to be 3 wide.
Allgaier shoots through on the inside. He's side by side with Custer now.
Retzlaff in the middle.
Somebody shoots out of line.
I think Allgaier.
It is Allgaier.
I saw smoke. I couldn't figure out what happened.
Oh, and here comes
Took off right there. I got a flat though.
Smithley in the 6. I think he tried to side draft and just slid up too high.
Sit nice and easy. You got a lot of time. A lot of time.
It's Jim Pullman, the crew chief, on the radio. He sees that left rear tire flat. He doesn't want to cause any more damage.
Caution number 4 comes out with Justin Allgaier running up front, and he went for a wild one here.
Oh yeah, he just tried to get up, be aggressive with that side draft, and it carried him up there just quicker than he thought.
I think so.
Yeah.
Good job though controlling that car, spinning it around and keeping it off that inside wall.
Do you expect these veterans like Allgaier to make better decisions? We're only 45 laps into a 100 lap race, 120 lap race. Not the time to be that aggressive with that move.
That thing jumped up there awful quick though, didn't it?
We have an early candidate for the save of the night, I'll tell you.
I like
Pretty
it.
good.
And last summer we came here, and Allgaier got his first Daytona win. And he did so in convincing fashion, beating Sheldon Creed by 5 thousandths of a second.
I wouldn't count him out tonight either.
No way. Let's listen to 00 team audio here.
There was a piece of debris up high off 2, and I had to try and dodge it. And I think he expected me to be by the wall, but there was a piece of debris out there. Copy, I'll tell him.
So it looks like maybe Cole Custer made a little bit of a move towards the 7 while he was trying to come up there and side draft.
Allgaier makes a pit stop. He'll reset at the tail of the field. Custer, Herbst, Chandler Smith, Retzlaff, Karam, the top 5 halfway home in stage 2.
You know, that debris that Custer talked about, we didn't see that in the first replay, but you can see it laying on the racetrack right there. And watch the just gentle, subtle move Cole makes to get away from the debris. And at the same time, Allgaier was coming up to side draft, and they just...
they were zigging when they should have been zagging.
That's just an unfortunate situation for Allgaier.
That's what caught Allgaier off guard, I think, was that he didn't expect for Custer to be moving off the wall at that point.
Zigging instead of zagging, that's different than the okie dokie on the restart.
Yeah, they're similar, though.
They're in the same family.
Yes.
By the way, John Hunter Nemechek involved in that crash a while ago. Gets the free pass here with our 4th caution, so he's back in the game.
It looks like they've got that car taped up pretty good, Adam. I believe he's going to be competitive. There's the 20 for John Hunter.
Decent.
30 cars on the lead lap. So Jesse Love back on pit road.
Yeah, we need a couple more pieces for Jesse's car.
Yeah, I'm afraid Jesse's not quite as lucky.
How about Parker Retzlaff? Right there on the front row.
Sage Karam, Blaine Perkins, Jordan Anderson, Jeremy Clements, Ryan Sieg, all in the top 10 for the restart.
I do love Daytona. You get to see these guys that maybe don't quite have the budget to run good at every racetrack, but the air, the draft is a great equalizer, and it pulls them together, and they're able to show that they have the talent to get it done on these big tracks.
But Jordan Anderson Racing, always good when we go to Daytona or Talladega. All 3 of their cars top 15 here a year ago, and the boss man running tonight. He's 7th on the restart. Custer up front with Retzlaff.
Custer's got his teammate, Riley Herbst, right there.
Teammates on the outside, teammates on the inside.
Isn't that great when it all works out like that?
I bet it wasn't by coincidence on the choose, was it?
What about those 2 cars of Jordan Anderson Racing driving off with the lead?
Yeah, Jeb Burton gives a big push to Retzlaff, gets him out front.
Jeremy Clements now pulling around that low lane. Drafting help from a Ford. That's Ryan Sieg behind him in the 39.
Jeremy spent a lot of time on pit road early in the race, and they've got that thing tuned up now. I think see the damage on the right front. Oh, no, Parker to the center.
Yeah, his teammate kind of hung him out right there.
It's not a good place to be hung.
We saw what happened with Jesse Love when he was in the middle. Oh, wow, that was an aggressive block right there.
I thought Clements was going to try to slide in front of Custer. Instead, he and Burton both sweep down to the lower part of the track, and now Clements trapped in the middle.
I don't think Clements really ever had control of that car.
He didn't have a choice.
He couldn't hang on. He was just hanging on. He wasn't driving.
Look who's back up to 3rd on that inside lane. Austin Hill in the 21.
He's a good drafter, isn't he, Andy?
He is excellent. This kind of racing, I don't know if I've seen anybody better in the Xfinity Series than Austin Hill.
He's now 2nd behind Jeb Burton.
I was worried about the damage he had. Looks like it hadn't hurt the car any. That shot looks like it's got some damage.
Well, you should be proud of your team. That's a really good repair job. Usually at this point, running 190 miles an hour, there's tape flying everywhere. They've got him together pretty good right now.
Looks okay. Yeah, that pit crew is filled with some guys that are real mechanics. They know how to fix a race car and do it quick.
Got another spinner. That's Nemechek.
Oh.
Josh Bilicki, 92.
Yeah, looks like he got the worst of that.
Big time damage. 5th caution of the evening comes out, 10 to go in our 2nd stage.
Nemechek was around when we caught him on our Fox Sports cameras. He had some damage. It makes you wonder, maybe he cut a tire possibly, or just speculating.
Well, he definitely has one down right now, so maybe that's what happened.
Maybe it was the left rear and he just lost it. There he is at the top of the screen. We put our cone on him, our caution cone.
Yep. Looks
there
like
goes the left rear
there.
tire.
Yep. He did a pretty good job not to do any more damage to the car. Wow. Got lucky too.
Oh, and just contact there into the back of the 92.
Nemechek involved in that earlier crash. We talked about the fact he got a lap down, was able to get back on the lead lap via the free pass, running 17th when he had the tire go down, and now we're under caution again.
One thing they're going to have to do here is make sure that the damage is cleared from that left rear. Don't have that many sets of tires to work with here in the Xfinity Series.
Got 4 sets for the weekend, and you used them for practice, qualifying, and the race. And fortunately, you don't have to put a lot of tires on during the race, but you start making a bunch of pit stops because of damage and accidents like this. All of a sudden, you can have a shortage.
There's Josh Bilicki limping his way back to the pit. John Hunter doing the same.
Yeah, right front's down too now, but I think that was after the fact.
Result of the spin.
Dawson Cram in the 4 also got a piece of that crash. 9 laps to go. Stage 2. Jeb Burton showing the way. Austin Hill, Ryan Sieg, Sammy Smith, Cole Custer up front. It's Monday Night NASCAR from Daytona. Jeb Burton leading at Daytona. Going to be 7 laps to go this time around in our second stage. And he's right behind the Toyota GR Supra pace car. And the pace car driver getting a bit of a workout tonight with 5 cautions already.
I hope they have a new pace car driver from Friday night, because we wore him out.
We did a record 12 cautions. Hey, let's take a minute and salute all the men and women that make NASCAR on Fox happen.
These guys are heroes.
This week has been outrageous because of all the rain and the long days and nights, and we thought this race was going to happen this morning at 11. So everybody came in to get everything set up and ready. It rains, and now we're racing up to midnight. It's remarkable what they do week to week. Everything they dealt with out in Los Angeles when it comes to the Clash and all the rain there, the setup, the takedown, and everyone, most of our crew's going to leave here and go straight to Atlanta because we're racing on Monday night and didn't get the activities in yesterday. They sacrificed their time away from their families so we can have great coverage. We thank you all, and a special shout out to Karen Fasing, who is at home tonight, one of the great leaders in our television compound.
I tell you, when you walk in that television compound, you wouldn't know that these guys have put in a 12, 16-hour day. Smiles, happy, thankful to be back on the job, thankful to be in Daytona and doing what we love to do.
I was in the garage today, and I had 2 or 3 crew members from the Xfinity Series come to me and say, hey, tell everybody thank you, because we know what these days are like, and everybody is committed. Let them know how much we appreciate it.
Yeah, I can tell you, everybody in the garage area appreciates the job that's done and the shots that you get. I mean, this amazing, TV coverage that we get. You don't hardly miss anything on the track.
Good view for Jeb Burton with that Golden Corral onboard camera. And right behind him, Austin Hill having another productive night at Daytona.
Back in business, boys. Dude, that thing gets a run. Holy through 1 and 2, that was bad. Dude, you look like you having some fun out there. Yeah, that was actually pretty fun there.
It was fun to watch, Austin. Was that Derek Nealon?
That's Derek Nealon. He's a spotter. I'm telling you, he's a hero spotter.
And Andy Street, crew chief, was he chiming in?
Andy Street's crew chief. And this is a good group right here.
They're a fun bunch of people to be around.
I'm back, he said.
Andy's back too. We're glad you're
right,
here.
I'm back.
We'll go green when we come back. Daytona International Speedway, open for business, 1959. Looks a little different now. NASCAR Xfinity Series started coming here 1982. Racing for the 65th time tonight here at the World Center of Racing, and it doesn't matter when you come here. If there's competition on track, it's worth watching.
What a beautiful racetrack, especially at night.
It just never gets old. When it comes time to head to Daytona, Andy, I don't know if you feel the same way, but it takes me back to my childhood when I came through that tunnel the first time and come to this racetrack.
I still get that feeling.
I do too.
When
and I talk
in here,
other drivers and crew guys are like, yes, that's exactly what happens to me, Mike.
It's amazing. Nothing like Daytona.
I was disappointed when we didn't get to run this morning at 11 o'clock. It's been a long week here, no doubt about it. But the reality is, it was no problem to get fired up, to jump up in the booth and do this race, even though we're doing a little Xfinity after dark, Regan.
Adam, the 26th Sage Karam having a good run to start his night off here. Keep in mind, he's actually finished 5th at Daytona in his only previous start back in 2022. Right now, quiet on the radio, it's been a lot of the spotter teaching him who to get with on the racetrack, who he needs to be trying to draft with, and who to learn from while he's out there right now.
He has been impressive, no doubt about it. Just got a report Dawson Cram was released from the Infield Care Center. He was involved in that last accident.
Dawson's a good kid, getting to drive for JD Motorsports.
Full time.
That's right.
So Austin Hill lined up on the front row. He's got all that tape on the nose. He's been able to draft his way all the way to the front, at least to second. He gets a lead. Let's just see how good how aerodynamic it is.
I was going to ask your expertise, Andy. Is that car capable of pulling this field around here? Is it aerodynamically sound?
Can I get back to you here in about a lap or two?
Had a 1-lap shootout to end stage 1. Going to be 4 to go when we return to the green flag here in stage 2. A pair of Chevys on the front row, Jeb Burton and Austin Hill.
Ryan Sieg with a nice push in that 39.
Sammy Smith broke through the grass when we had that caution earlier in the race. No damage, no harm, no foul. The driver from Iowa making his presence known. First year at Junior Motorsports after winning last year as a rookie at Joe Gibbs Racing. He's in that number 8. And up the middle, Sheldon Creed.
He's going for the lead right there through the middle.
And look at Austin Hill. He's able to pull ahead. That Chevy might be fine, Andy.
So far, so good. He's going to have to do a little blocking here.
Oh, man, that's so
Coming
difficult.
to 3 to go in the stage.
Looking to jump out in front of his old teammate, Sheldon Creed, who's now at Joe Gibbs Racing driving that 18.
Tough decision
Bottom on entry
here.
Bottom on entry. 18 still close to you. 8's close to you now.
How much do you block?
That's Derek Nealon up on the roof spotting for Austin Hill. He does such a good job of knowing where their energy is and where it's coming from and how to get it to the driver when he can use it.
I like those half blocks. He just wandered up the middle of the racetrack to kind of try to slow down Creed's momentum and then right back down to the bottom.
I'll say this, Michael, you were one of the best at doing this kind of racing back when you were driving, and I see a lot of those moves look like you kind of pioneered. Some of those half blocks.
Yes, there's a few things I see that make me smile out there, and that's one of them. You don't want to go all the way up. You don't have to, and that was a great move. Textbook there by Austin Hill.
Almost like a shot fake in basketball, right? Get them off their feet. 2 laps to go in the stage.
This is impressive with what Austin Hill's accomplished after being backwards on the back straightaway. Andy's like, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, he's
not so fast.
He's still got some work to do.
A lot of work to do. He's side by side for the lead.
Creed's doing a great job because until now there hadn't been a lot of help from behind. Sieg, though, getting up on that back bumper trying to give him a shove.
Yeah, now that outside lane is starting to get organized, and now you'll see some energy come from, from behind Sheldon Creed. It's going to be hard it's going to be hard for Austin Hill to block that.
Can't get there. Sammy Smith's got a fast car, though, and he's really, look at that.
I don't like this.
He's hanging on.
Final lap, stage 2. And they're dancing side by side in the draft.
Easy does it, guys. We need to make it to the end of this stage so we have a chance to win this thing.
Look at that tight pack off turn 2.
Ryan Truex is in there. Chandler Smith, Brandon Jones. Allgaier was there. Looked like he might want to slide out a little bit.
I don't like the looks of that line.
I think that's going to be enough to get Hill the win.
He lost the opening stage by inches to his teammate, Jesse Love. Austin Hill trying to hang on and win stage 2.
That's a nice block right there. And
he's going to do it.
That was a good job for Austin Hill.
That was awesome.
He's been a stage-winning machine on drafting tracks. Leads a bunch of laps every time we come here. And despite the damage, the 21 has got plenty of speed. And the guy behind the wheel, he's not bad either. Hill gets it done. Sammy Smith, Creed, Custer, Sieg, the top 5. Third stage win at Daytona for Austin Hill.
Teammates up front, Hill on the inside, Sheldon Creed on the outside.
Sheldon Creed gets into the back of Austin Hill.
He shoves Hill up the banking. Here they come. Final time into 3. Sheldon Creed to the bottom. He'll take the lead. He drifts high. Here comes Allgaier.
The win goes to Justin Allgaier by inches.
He's going to be mad, but it's for a championship 4 spot, and I wanted to fight for my guys all the way to the end.
I cannot wait for him to get out of RCR. I don't have to put up with it.
Old friends reunited at the end of that last stage. How was the competition meeting that next week at RCR?
It was a little emotional that night by everybody, I include myself, but it was disappointing. It looked like one of our cars at least was going to make it to the final race and race for a championship, and that last corner just kind of ruined it all. They were racing hard, beating and banging, and it actually knocked the bumper that's behind the nose into the tire of the 2 car, and he wasn't able to turn the wheel when he got down in the corner, and it kind of just messed everybody up and let Justin Allgaier sneak in there for the win.
That's short track racing.
That was a great finish, though.
You take those trips to Martinsville pretty seriously. We talk about how special it is to win at Daytona. Another pretty special thing that accomplishes a win at Martinsville, getting that grandfather clock. And you could tell those guys were just really passionate about battling it all the way to the checkered and didn't care if they're teammates or not.
Look where Justin Allgaier finished the stage. Came back, got points, finished 8th. That's impressive.
After that little 180-mile-an-hour pirouette down the back straightaway.
A little luck involved in that one.
A lot. And
bad luck at first and good luck when he survived it.
And I said this earlier, but if you can get stage points here, it just makes your life so much better at the end of the evening, because
there's no guarantees you're going to see the checkered flag here.
We just absolutely believe that there's going to be some cautions in the final stage that could eliminate you and take away your finish at the end of the night. So if you can put some points in the bank, that makes life a whole lot better when you exit Daytona. Here's the stage point breakdown. Pit stops into stage 2, Regan.
Adam Austin Hill continuing to be very strong right now, even after the incident earlier on. As he slides through his pit box right here, that's going to be a little bit of a problem, cost him some time. Right now, the race car is just bottoming out in turns 1 and 2 too much. Has trouble taking a push as good as he wants, and Sheldon Creed very good as well. He didn't want any changes. He just needs more help from the pushers that are behind him, Josh.
For the 8 of Sammy Smith, finishing 2nd in stage number 2. Happy with that car, said it was good and stable. No adjustments for them. Moving on to the 00 of Cole Custer. He said he likes the car. If you make any adjustments, make it a little freer. They gave him 2 right side tires.
Thank you, fellas. Whole lot to break down when it comes to those pit stops. We'll set you up for the final stage at Daytona when we come back on FS1.
We could easily get a penalty. I don't know what the hell's up with me mentally, but I left in 3rd gear on the way in. All right, it looked like we were going a $120, so I'll let you know.
I'd say that's a fair estimate, and watch him trying to stop it when he gets there.
Too much speed, can't stop in the pit box. But what they're shooting for an RPM number on the tack, and there's lights to indicate when they are in that zone of that speed. And he had it in 3rd gear instead of 2nd gear. 2nd is the gear that they set that RPM target. Too much speed, not enough brake action there.
You saw on the graphic 2 penalties. One, the speeding, obviously, and a safety violation for the way he got into his pit box. We've had a major turn of events when it comes to RCR. The penalties for Austin Hill, who's going to drop to the back, and we'll get more on that in just a second with Regan. And Jesse Love, who had pitted at lap 55, stays out here. He stayed on the lead lap, and he is going to be the race leader. We'll follow up on that in a second. Now down to Regan.
Well, Adam, the only bright spot to what just happened to Austin Hill there with the speeding down pit road and overshooting the box, he wanted 4 tires on this pit stop. He felt like as it came down to it at the end of the race, he'd be able to take a better push, be able to lead better out front. He felt like that was the play he wanted as we continue on right here. Crew Chief Andy Street, before they pitted, told him basically to, shut up and drive. I'm going to give you 2 tires, and that's all you're going to get tonight. Well, he got his 4 tires because they came back down and put the other 2 on just now.
Yep, that's one way to get them.
Yeah, I don't think that's exactly how he planned. Now, I don't understand this move. Look at the 2 car. We talked about the bit of a damage that the 21 had to it, and the nice job they did. You can't put a new fender on, and he doesn't have a right front fender.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to work out as good as it did for Austin Hill.
This is going to be a mess. I mean, he's going to
see. We don't know yet.
All right. This could be a mess. How about that?
It could be.
This could be. Yeah. That's what you're, as an announcer, that's what
Let's hope it's not, but it could be.
We wrote him off, and I would say rightfully so, given the damage and how sensitive these cars are to aero at this place, but here he is.
I was kind of surprised he was able to stay on the lead lap.
Or in the race, even.
Yeah, even in the race. Yeah, it looked like he got so much damage, it might knock him out. But here he is.
He goes outside lane. Sammy Smith inside of him. And a couple of players to update. Shane Van Gisbergen is inside the top 10. He had been involved in a crash, had damage, got a free pass, and he's going to restart in the top 10. And John Hunter Nemechek got another free pass, so he is back on the lead lap. 28 cars on the lead lap as we begin the final stage. Going to be 54 to go.
Brandon Jones doesn't really have much of a choice but to try to push Jesse Love right here. He probably knows that there's a lot of damage on that car, and he's probably not going to be as fast as he needs to be. I'd be surprised if they don't kind of shuck him out of line here.
Look at that big push. Cole Custer on the back of Allgaier. I'm amazed at that too, having that kind of pace.
Yeah, I think he is, though. He's holding that outside lane up some.
He is that, but that must be a really strong ECR engine under the hood, blowing that thing through the air. I just hope that outside line stays patient if he starts to lose pace.
It's like he's starting to surge actually back forward a bit.
Danny Stockman's calling a heck of a race with this decision. That's bold.
Hey, and you talk about Danny Stockman, got a great history in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He was with Austin Dillon when he won Rookie of the Year, and the very next year won the championship.
They got him shucked now.
Yeah, they finally figured out a way around him.
It's Allmendinger in the 16.
Yeah, it might be a good position for Jesse Love too, just to be able to tuck in behind some of these other cars where he doesn't expose all that damage.
It'll run 5th or 6th in line perfectly fine with somebody ahead and somebody behind. So, and this is another chance for Jesse just to learn more. The rookie at this place in the Xfinity Series, just getting his legs under him.
Here's a great story. Sammy Smith leading this race. His pit crew pitted the car, the 24 William Byron, earlier tonight and led him to victory in the Daytona 500. They celebrate, they take the pictures, and they come over, and now they're working on the Xfinity side, trying to sweep the evening.
Sheldon Creed wants to the bottom. A little bit of a push on Allmendinger there, and look at all the mess behind him. Allmendinger to the lead. This is wild racing.
The back and forth at the front. Had 7 different leaders tonight. Allmendinger's led 3 laps. Sammy Smith 4, and he's back out in front in that inside lane. Riley Herbst bringing it outside with help from his Ford teammate Ryan Sieg.
Look at how tight these things are. AJ's really working over that back bumper of the 8 of Sammy Smith.
These cars just don't look very stable. When they take those little bumps and pushes, they're just kind of all over the place. So right there, you see the leader. Sammy Smith, just all he can do to hold that thing straight. It's a good thing he's got Allmendinger behind him. He's got a lot of experience and kind of knows how these cars act in the draft.
Justin Allgaier in the 9th position, 4th in line in the outside lane.
We are in a bad spot, buddy. I know it. I don't know where to go, though.
Spotter Eddie DeHaan, the veteran, up on the roof. That's not what you want to hear as a driver. I agree with you, Justin. We are. So let's just hang on to it and see what happens.
You want your spotter to talk you off the ledge a little bit, right?
You just don't want to be in these, you know, you can see when you're in that spot, you're in a real vulnerable place because you're not in a place to be able to avoid a wreck if it happens in front of you and you're right in the middle of it.
I always like logging laps during this time of the race down on the bottom. Felt like there's just room to get over to the left. You know, if something did go wrong, stuff goes up the hill. But sometimes you don't have a choice. You just have to.
Yeah, there's no holes and there's no gaps to be able to get in right there.
Exactly.
You just got to ride it out here.
I would throw this out there too. 49 laps to go in this race. It's right around 45 to go when that window opens up to make your final pit stop and be able to go the distance. You want to make sure you get on pit road at the right time so you establish that track position for the stretch run. Strategy, something we'll keep an eye on.
You expect some of these manufacturers to stick together. The Chevys will probably pit together. They seem to have the numbers to be able to do that.
And if you do it under green, Michael, give us a sense of how difficult that is at Daytona.
Man, I'm telling you, Adam, that it's rough over there off turn 4 when you want to go low. But I tell you, the mistake I see made, you've got to go far left as you can. Run wide open off turn 4 and then take a left. Get over toward the inside of this track as far as you can so you don't get hit from behind.
If they do pit, you won't miss it. We're going side by side. 48 remaining at Daytona. Sammy Smith up front with A.J. Allmendinger and Riley Herbst making a play in the outside lane.
Here's one thing we can all agree on. Having more choices beats having less choices. That's why we make a range of Ford F-150 pickups for any job. Whether that job is getting heavy things where they need to go, powering things on the go, or going from 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Doug. Customize and save with Liberty Bibbity. Liberty Booshima. Liberty Blibbitu.
Mark that one. That was nice.
I think you're supposed to stand over there.
Oh, am I? Thank you. So a couple more, but we'll go quick.
Libru Smeebu. Libru Breebu. Limu Beeboo. And me.
Sanimu!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You can't stop me now.
Brace for impact. It's Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. As the baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. All new Friday Night SmackDown, sponsored by Progressive at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Are you ready? Because Vintage NASCAR is back. Get ready for some bumper banging fun because in 2024, the Food City 500 is back. That's right, back on concrete, back to sheet metal bending chaos, back to racing the way it ought to be. Grab a spring weekend package today and save 15%. It's the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway, March 17th, 2024. It'll be St. Patrick's Day, so get ready to party. Visit BristolMotorspeedway.com for tickets and details.
The XFL and the United States Football League have announced plans to merge.
A move that ensures spring football is here to stay.
This is an iconic moment.
With excitement from fans all across the country.
Let's ball out, baby!
This will bring together two of the best spring leagues we've ever seen.
It's a win for football and for fans.
The United Football League has arrived.
There's no doubt spring just got stronger.
Here we go. Green flag pit stops underway would be the final stop of the night. Some Chevrolets made their way down the pit lane while we were away, and here comes some more.
Here comes the next round.
I kind of like pitting in these small packs. You can get to pit road cleaner. You don't have traffic getting there. And I think this is a nice size pack to come to pit road.
Austin. Yeah, this is a good size pack. You don't want to be, like I said, 1 or 2, 3 cars. You're going to lose too much time. Josh?
Yeah, and Sammy Smith coming up to get topped off with fuel. Strong run so far for the 8 as he's in the pit box, and good to go for the 8, guys.
You know, it's another thing to think about are those 4 tires on the 21. We know his tires are fresher. He wants to be aggressive. He can push better, block better. Keep that in mind as we tick down toward 10 to go in this race.
All this is cycled around. Riley Herbst is the race leader, and you look up next to our pylon, top left of your screen, you can see where everybody is running on track. Jeb Burton, Brandon Jones, Justin Allgaier making pit stops with 43 to go. They come down, and there are many others following him onto the pit lane.
Some folks might subscribe to the theory of running a little bit longer so you can spend less time on pit road. What are they thinking down there, Regan?
Well, Michael, the 26 is Sage Karam, I mentioned earlier, learning the draft, now learning green flag pit stops, doing a nice job getting onto pit road to get fuel. Josh?
And for the 9 of Brandon Jones, strong run to start the season, coming off a disappointing year for him, looking for a statement in the first race as he tops off with fuel.
These are scheduled green flag pit stops. Riley Herbst continues to lead. He's up in front of his teammate Cole Custer. John Hunter Nemechek, involved in a crash early tonight, has been a lap down on 2 different occasions. In fact, not only did he get caught up in a crash, he had a tire go down, spun out. But here he is in this lead draft as we set through this cycle of green flag pit stops.
You got to give it up for that crew. He had damage, so he had a flat tire and spun out. They were able to repair that damage, and now he's running in this lead pack. Great job by the team.
Yeah, they got it fixed good enough now that they're not going to cut that left rear in a good spot.
These are the Fords and Toyotas running together. Joe Gibbs Racing has not won here at Daytona since 2013. Matt Kenseth got it done, a 4-car operation this year, and they're all together in the draft.
Top 10 haven't pitted yet. Expect them to pull on the pit road anytime now. But what you have to think about, Adam, is like I was saying before we went to the pit road, these guys running longer means less time on pit road. They can put less fuel in. Will that translate to track position when they've made their stops?
Right of your screen, Brandon Jones and Justin Allgaier. They have made their pit stops. So the big equation is going to be, once the driver's on your left, those that are yet to come, once they pit, where do they cycle back in with the 9 and 7 who are leading those that have already made a stop?
Well, they've got a bigger pack, so I think they're going to be going faster than the 9 and 7, and then they're going to spend less time on pit road. I think the 9 and 7 are sitting ducks.
And they got a big group of cars coming from behind them.
Here they come.
41 to go. Most of those drivers coming down pit road, a couple stay out. Look like Creed and Truex going to stay on track.
It looks like the Toyota's going to go long here.
At least 2 of them are. Regan?
Adam, the 98 of Riley Herbst. It's going to be a quick stop for fuel here. They were specific. Do not slide the tires. We don't want to have to change them. Josh?
For Cole Custer, well aware that SHR has never won a NASCAR Xfinity race at a super speedway. A goal of his to change that today on hopefully his final stop for fuel, guys.
Earlier tonight, William Byron, the 24 team, elected to run long. That got them the track position they needed, ultimately put them in position to go out and win the Daytona 500. As things cycle through, Creed and Truex have not made a pit stop yet, but this is the lead group you're looking at right here. And what a good bunch we have together in the draft.
Here comes Creed and Truex to pit road, and what a battle we got on the racetrack. These guys are coming up to speed. Like I said, run long, less time on pit road. Can they have the speed to hold off this charging pack?
It'll be interesting to see just where they blend in, these cars that just came off pit road with this pack.
So I said that's the lead group. That's the lead group when you talk about a big pack. But the lead cars right now of those that have made pit stops, Herbst and Custer.
Natalie Decker's running long. Ryan Ellis, they're leading the race right now, but that's just a matter of time.
You can see this right here with Herbst and Custer. They just got too much of a lead. There's only 2 cars. You're going to have a big train coming at them with a lot of momentum here before too long.
There's the Toyotas.
They're going to blend in. That'll help.
So those 4 will be back together.
This is going to get wild in about a lap.
The merge through a cycle of green flag pit stops is always crazy at Daytona and Talladega, but this is where the race is won and lost.
These guys don't have blinkers. They're going to merge any which way they want to, whatever they think's the best advantage to them.
And there are the cars yet to make a pit stop. Decker, Ellis, Smithley.
And this is the mess.
Wow.
Looks like Creed lost his position up front.
Give a call to Natalie Decker, leading laps for the first time in her career. She did finish top 5 at Daytona in the Craftsman Truck Series a handful of years ago.
Best finish ever by a woman here at Daytona.
It's getting ready to get really good because you got Custer and Herbst out there, and Truex and Burton and Nemechek and Sieg, and the rest of the group is running them down in a hurry.
They're going to have to try to block as best they can, but that's when things get dicey. This backpack has a few miles an hour speed over top of them. Just that big draft is running faster. And they're sitting up there waiting for these guys to pounce. Where do they go? How do they block?
Decker yet to pit midway down the back straightaway. And this is what's happening from 4th on back.
Just too much momentum to try to hold that off.
Herbst tried to block Truex, couldn't do it.
That usually doesn't work well.
Toyota's firing through. Up high, it's Truex. Down low, it's Chandler Smith.
Herbst coming back strong on the middle.
And he's got his teammate right behind him. That's Cole Custer in the 00.
Look at this pack.
That's about as good as it could have worked out for the 98 00.
I mean, isn't that great how they all just merged together? And it looked like it was choreographed, but it was far from it.
This group showing 4th on back in the scoring pylon, but this will be the battle for the lead when those others come to pit road. 36 to go.
Natalie Decker pulling them along. Ryan Ellis, Garrett Smithley there, leading this race at Daytona. That's pretty special.
They've got quite a bit of fuel in the tank. They can do this for a while. They're going to be running a lot slower than this pack, and so once they do make their stop, they're going to be behind. But
they're going to be running much safer too. That
they're
pack
definitely safer.
That pack looks like it could come apart in a hurry the way they're battling.
By the way, Anthony Alfredo, a part of that mix, he is a lap down. The one thing I wanted to say, though, once they pit and they come back out, there's a really good shot. That other group is going to get too aggressive. We could have an accident. And these cars that are yet to make a pit stop could very well put themselves in position for a great finish. We'll wait and see how it plays out. But I like the strategy.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
You see Allgaier, he didn't like the position he was in earlier. I really don't like the one he's in right now. He's right in the middle of this.
This is a mess.
He found a way out, though.
Jeff Burton in that orange car just ahead of Allgaier. And we're looking out his bumper from his Golden Corral camera. And then Sheldon Creed right in the middle of the pack.
Give a call to Leland Honeyman up there in that group. Driver the 42 for Young's Motorsports. He's a rookie driver. That is a rookie team, and they're in the lead pack late at Daytona. 34 to go.
I don't know, Andy. If I'm back at the end of that pack and seeing what I'm seeing, I don't know that I can go up through there. I might just fall back.
You know, that's exactly what Kyle Busch did in the Cup race. He found himself in that spot after we made that last pit stop, and he said, hey, there's no way we're not going to have another wreck. I'm going to get out of here.
Well, and I think if I'm riding at the back of that pack, I'm going to just say, well, you know, I'm not going anywhere. Drop out of there. As you see, Ryan Ellis takes the lead.
Give a call to Ryan Ellis. He's done so many great things in the sport of NASCAR, was a PR man, but wanted to drive, stuck with it, running full-time this year in that 43 for Tommy Joe Martin, Cesar Baccarella, Alpha Prime Racing, and he's leading at Daytona. What a dream it must be for him and his family. His dad's a local here in Central Florida. Saw him in the garage yesterday. Happy for all involved.
Now, nice little story there with Ellis leading this race.
We got a storm brewing right here.
And now we got a mess on the back.
Chandler Smith in the 81, pushing Riley Herbst in the 98. Two aggressive young drivers full of talent.
Sparks flying. It's time to race.
This is fun, isn't it?
I'm not sure I can take it for 32 more laps.
You're going to get a break in a minute, Adam.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think you might be right, Mike.
These guys are just so aggressive. You got to be if you're going to win. But like you said, Kyle Busch, the veteran he is, he said, I don't like the looks of this. Bailed, and it paid off.
Yeah, he had backed up to like 27th. And if they didn't have a wreck, he was not going to get a good finish, but he was able to avoid that big wreck by doing that.
It's crazy to me that there's 3 Fords at the front. There's only 6 of them in the field tonight.
Pretty strong tonight.
And right in the middle of that pack, in the middle is Austin Hill. He's fought his Chevrolet back up to the front. And he's got those 4 fresh tires. Man, that was dicey. Was that Truex all over the place?
Truex in the 19, outside lane. Older brother Martin, a NASCAR champion, made his 20th start in the Daytona 500 earlier tonight on Fox. And one of the great moments of 2023 when Ryan got his first career win in an Xfinity car at Dover. And a couple of days later, his brother won the Cup race. Their dad was there to watch it all. Look out at the front of the field. Big move by Ryan Sieg in the 39 to jump to the front.
Now you got 3 Fords in that outside lane.
Keep your eye on the Chevy in the middle there. Austin Hill, he's just hanging right there. Lap after lap, gaining a little bit of ground on the leaders.
Meanwhile, this group continues to show 1, 2, 3. They're yet to make their final pit stop of the night.
Riley Herbst's taking the lead here. Easily. That car's strong.
This is the battle on the right for the win. The cars on the left are stretching their fuel, leading this race, and they're in a really safe place right now, leading with not a lot of action. Eventually, they'll have to come to pit road, but If there's a caution beforehand, they're going to be leaders.
Yeah, they're sitting there in this nice little safe single line. These other guys are duking it out.
Look at Hill. That's just an amazing push. Right up the middle, too. Can he finish the deal?
This 3 wide is out of control. 3 wide, 5 or 6 rows deep. The level of concentration is amazing.
And skill. I tell you, these guys are really good at what they're doing. Just trying to run that close together. That, you know, they know that they need to be at the head of this line whenever those leaders make their pit stop. They feel like this is their race for track position to be in the right spot when it does come down to those last, handful of laps. Oh, Lord. Oh, that is scary looking.
Huge block. Ryan Segut's got a fast forward, too.
He does have a fast car.
That 39 right up the middle. Austin thought he needed to get to the bottom. It didn't work out.
Ellis, Smithley, and Decker can probably go another 10, 15 laps on fuel before they would have to make a pit stop. Everybody else short pitted, make sure they had that track position. And those that have made pit stops racing from 4th on back, you see them here in the pack.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this pack's about 23 seconds behind those leaders that are running single file.
This is synchronized driving. You can't imagine.
I don't know how they've survived this long.
I can't explain to folks at home how difficult this is. 185, 90 miles an hour with the wind buffeting all over you. You got to be on top of your game, and these guys are. Hill's back to the front.
Ryan Sieg's been throwing a lot of real close blocks. I hope he knows what he's doing there, because that's getting a little close.
It's like
everybody on the left's playing nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's 2 schools of thought when you talk about strategy and approach to racing tonight, right? Let's go single file. Yeah. Let's keep our nose clean. Or we can go 3 wide and dance in the draft.
You just can't imagine that these guys could continue to race 3 wide that aggressively and not get into one another, but they're doing an amazing job of that.
They're starting to sort it out just a little bit here. They're still 3 wide in a few rows, but not all the way through the field.
Wouldn't you like to know what Shane Van Gisbergen is thinking right now? Like, he's raced rally, he's raced everything, supercars all over the world. I bet he's never seen anything quite like this.
But you know what? When the others pit, he'll be in the top 10 if we reset right now.
Yeah, he's right there with him.
And he was a lap down earlier tonight, got the free pass, and finds himself right where he needs to be.
Another guy in that same boat, John Hunter Nemechek. He's fighting his way up toward the top 10 after a couple of spins.
Twice he's been a lap down. We'll step aside. 25 laps to go at Daytona. Ryan Ellis leading.
Today is just such a special day. The XFL and the USFL merged together to create one powerful spring football league called the UFL. These players are going to play hard-nosed, intense football, passionate football.
Every play matters. Touchdown!
They got one shot. They're going to ball out.
Incredible!
Spring football is here to stay.
The UFL season kicks off March 30th on Fox and ABC.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com.
Tacos.
Jeb Burton was running 8th in that big pack when things got away from him. 7th caution of the night, and he's going to be able to work his way out of that wet grass.
Looked like he might get stuck down there.
You saw when we were side by side, he just got lifted. Somebody got him in the back, whether he tried to close a hole or what. Just turned around. Luckily kept it off that inside wall. He'll get him some tires and try to get back in this battle.
Caution number 7. That opens the door for Ellis, Smithley, and Decker to come down, get their pit service under caution.
The problem they're going to have is that nobody else is going to pit. They've already made their last stops, and they'll have to line up behind them.
Let's see if we can tell what happens to the 27. He's getting ready to be the caution, and it's because of Shane trying to get in a hole that wasn't there.
Not there at all. I'd say Jeb Burton's lucky to get away with not getting any damage there.
Lucky, and also, did you see him? He had his foot on the floorboard too when he was sliding toward the wall, keeping those tires spinning, keeping him out of that wall. That's good driving.
We've seen some really, really good saves tonight. The buffet is open. Let's do the Golden Corral onboard camera.
Ah, such a helpless feeling when that happens to you.
He didn't quit driving it, though.
No, he did.
He kept driving through that grass.
Was able to get
Great job.
Head in the right direction, get him some tires.
Jeb's dad, Ward, won the Daytona 500 2002. 1 year after and 1 year before my man Michael Waltrip.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah, he's looking, trying to find a place to go.
That's a cool shot. I want to go back to something you said, Andy. Now on board with Austin Hill.
Look how fast that happens.
Shane Van Gisbergen just
oh, and then Shane goes for a spin.
Yeah, he did. I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
I wondered because I thought, man, he's got to be top 5, and then I top 10 at least, and then I looked up and saw he wasn't there, and that's the reason why.
And he kept it out of the traffic.
Look at this save. Wow. We're talking about how good a save Jeb Burton made. This one was even better.
You don't do that in supercars. 81 supercar wins, 3 championships.
What a beautiful save there for Shane.
We'll take a break and reset. Going to be right around 20 laps to go when we return to the green flag here at Daytona.
Today is just such a special day. The XFL and the USFL merge together to create one powerful spring football league called the UFL. These players are going to play hard-nosed, intense football, passionate football.
Every play matters. Touchdown!
They got one shot. They're going to ball out.
Incredible!
Spring football is here to stay.
The UFL season kicks off March 30th on Fox and ABC.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com.
Tacos.
Can Billy come out to play?
Yes!
Woohoo!
The all-new Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places.
So you're telling me this bouncer pass gets us into the Creation Museum too? Yep, how cool is that? What are we waiting for? Let's go! Whoa, is that a mastodon? I think so. This is gonna be awesome.
All the parts you need at the prices you want. Guaranteed to fit every time. So you can keep your ride or die alive.
Is this the start of a dynasty?
Ryan Blaney
NASCAR Cup Series champion.
A redemption tour.
Ready to go to work.
Is this the face of a ruthless competitor or a villain?
I'm being your favorite driver.
Is it time for a breakthrough? Let's go! To get back to breaking stuff? Or is this the makings of the wildest ride you'll ever witness? It's all of the above, and it's about to go down. Any questions?
Going to be a wild finish for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona. Pit stops for the leaders. They're finally giving it up and getting their service, Regan.
Well, and definitely some cars that were happy that caution came out at them. They will not have to make a green flag stop. The 43 Ryan Ellis, it's going to be a simple stop for him. The main thing they told him is to make sure no other cars were coming in when he got ready to leave, so they don't damage that car because they got potential for a good run. And the 36 and Natalie Decker, she was extremely happy when the yellow came out, really pumping up her crew and telling them great job on the calls.
I like those calls. It gave them a shot. It gave them a shot to stay out of the big mess if there was one. It gave them a shot to get their sponsors on TV. They're leading at Daytona. And that's pretty cool stuff.
They're right here in the middle of it with 20 to go.
A few other drivers from that lead pack came down pit road as well. Natalie Decker leading 7 laps tonight. Congratulations on that. And congratulations as well on the fact she got married in the offseason. Jeb Burton brings out the caution. I am excited about what's next. 2 unpredictable races to start the year for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 5 days. We'll be racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway, round 2, part of a NASCAR doubleheader. We'll be the backside of a doubleheader again, only this time it'll be with the Craftsman Truck Series. Coverage starts Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on FS1. Regan?
Adam, the complexity of this race has just changed dramatically. The 21 of Austin Hill hitting pit road. Radio to the team, he thought he had an issue with a tire. They decided to go ahead and pit because something fell off to him, and it was a good call. As soon as he got to the pit box, crew chief said the left rear looks like it was down. They're checking over the rest of the car. He's come from the back to the front a couple times tonight. We're going to get to see it again potentially here.
It's been some good TV, Regan. This cat.
Get your popcorn ready, right, Michael?
This cat has been wheeling it right up the middle to the front. It's fun to watch.
He's got his 4 tires he wanted.
Yes. Again. He goes about getting them in a different way, doesn't he? Yeah. See our top 10 there. Give a shout out to Daniel Dye. He's a truck regular. Making this Xfinity start. Has a top 10 run going. Ryan Sieg leading this race late at Daytona. And that's a fast forward, too. He's done a good job of holding his own up there.
He made a lot of moves to get that lead.
Sage Karam in 6th place. A lot of good stories up in the top 10, even after that caution.
Did have some penalties on pit road for Decker, Ellis, and Blaine Perkins, but they had made those pit stops, not many pitted, so dropping to the rear for this restart shouldn't be an enormous loss of track position. Celebrate the guy out front. Ryan Sieg takes over the race lead. Journeyman in the NASCAR Xfinity Series has never won one of these races. He's been close so many times, and you and I've said it how many times, Michael. The party, the celebration is going to be incredible when he finally gets it done.
Well, his father is down in the pits right now cheering his young son on and pulling for this team to get that victory, because like you said, you see what he's doing tonight. He's got the ability to go to victory lane, and this is a family-owned team and just does a great job behind the wheel.
Yeah, that family puts their heart and soul into this. It'd be nice to see.
It would be cool.
Let's get an Austin Hill radio update after the pit road situation when they came down and made the stop.
Good job feeling that there, man. We would have never made it to the end of the race if you stayed out there and went green, so we at least still have a fighting chance doing it this way. Yes,
what do we do now, Andy? Do we charge from the word go? We only got 20 laps to go.
That's the only thing you can do right now.
Jeb Burton had that spin that brought out the caution. He did lose a lap. He's 28th. Free pass went to Patrick Emmerling. He's back on the lead lap. 27 cars going to be on the lead lap here. Michael said it. We're inside of 20 laps to go. Going to be 18 remaining when we return to the green flag.
And they're going to be 18 of the most intense laps of the day. And I say that reluctantly because they've been pretty intense already. Like, the thing has been just so competitive. 3 wide most of the way. A lot of great racing.
Look what's happened here on the restart. Manufacturer teammates working together as Riley Herbst takes that outside lane going behind Ryan Sieg. And a couple of those Joe Gibbs Toyotas on the inside. Chandler Smith in front of Ryan Truex.
There's 3 Fords.
Yeah, Cole Custer there as well.
Strung out on the outside.
How about A.J. Allmendinger having a day? 6th in the Daytona 500. Coming back to the Xfinity Series full time. And he's got a real shot to make a play here.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't have something to say about who wins this race.
Kaulig Racing has 23 wins all time. 15 of those courtesy of A.J. Allmendinger.
Not only is he a great driver, he's a great spirit. Always fun to be around. And
when he wins a race now, you can tell he's happy.
He's passionate about what he does.
He's a dad now, too. Congratulations on that.
That's right. Got another mouth to feed. You better get going.
Big push in the outside lane for those Fords.
These things have some steam under the hood.
Don't want to get too far out in front of the pack.
Yeah, they've broken apart.
Yeah, this can work against you to get that far out.
Oh, nice job of
sliding up.
Sliding up and taking that line. Now what do we do?
Well,
we go for it.
Riley Herbst sliding to the inside. Looked like a little side draft there off of Ryan Sieg, and debris on track. We've got our 8th caution. And we got more than debris. Look at this.
Jeb Burton again.
You're going straight here. Good. Just got random.
Leland Honeyman.
Been a solid day for that Young's Motorsports rookie, but it looks like he's done.
Over. And then Van Gisbergen's got damage. More damage. Still rolling, though.
Garrett Smithley. He's been through a lot tonight, and the car shows it.
All right, let's go Jerry McClements. He's been through a lot tonight.
If the shoe fits, right?
That's right.
Oh, look at that. Looked like Parker Redsloff and Jeremy Clements were arguing over space. And Honeyman got the worst of the deal.
We've seen that a handful of times tonight where it's just, I mean, we're talking about no more than a foot or so that these guys could cut each other a break and not cause these, but we've had quite a few cautions because of it.
Well, if you're going to cut someone a break, you're not doing it anymore. You're just going to race hard.
Remember, Austin Hill was back there.
Look at that.
Yeah, we're talking about, less than 6 inches.
But Redsloff would not let him have that 6 inches and was able just to drive through it.
Riding with Jeb Burton.
Let's look into his eyes. That was such a great shot of him earlier when he was out of control.
Jeb just can't catch a break tonight, can he? He's had a good car.
The unfortunate thing, he had gone a lap down. So a caution would have put him in line for the free pass. Unfortunately, he's a part of the caution and therefore does not qualify. Honeyman's car on the hook. Burton back on pit road. Smithley in as well.
The Kaulig guys are trying to get Shane Van Gisbergen back out here, see if he can get a finish out of this.
If you go back to the beginning portion of this race, Suarez gets knocked out, and all the other Kaulig cars were involved in that other accident that we had early. And they've done a good job of staying in the game. When you talk about Allmendinger, we mentioned Daniel Dye, Shane Van Gisbergen's done a nice job, so they might have something to show for tonight, even though they've been banged up.
Don't go through a roll or two of tape.
Oh, absolutely. Might add to that budget line item as we move to Atlanta. Going to be inside of 15 laps to go when we go back to the green flag at Daytona.
I want to introduce you to someone that has sold tickets at the Daytona International Raceway since it opened in 1959. And before that, she even sold tickets to the beach races with Betty Jane France. She's so famous, they even named the ticket office after her. Let's go meet Juanita Lightning Epton. Hello, it's Michael. I'm here.
Everything can start then.
That's right, we can go. I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
103 years old. What is your key?
I guess it's the Lord. I go to and from work every day.
That is incredible.
I don't feel bad. I can hardly wait to get here.
What are some of the favorite memories you have from this job?
Selling tickets down on the beach and seeing the cars come off of the ocean front onto the pavement. The expression in the faces was amazing. You couldn't help but be part of it.
What did it feel like when they said, we're going to name the ticket office after you, Lightning?
I almost fainted. I felt so honored to think that they cared enough about me to name the office for me.
But I've always wondered, and I don't think I've ever asked you, how did you get the nickname Lightning?
My husband gave it to me. He said he never knew when or where I'd strike. And I struck for 62 years.
And then I have just one last question. I kind of need a couple of tickets. I heard it sold out. You have any in your drawer there?
Nope.
Yeah, you run a tight ship.
You have to.
Well done,
That
Michael.
was great.
It just warms my heart. She's
what a
such
sweetheart.
Her spirit is amazing. We spent a couple of days together here in Daytona, and I've been visiting her over in the ticket office for a few years now. We've become buddies.
You're just trying to butter her up to get some tickets for her to come back.
Next year, maybe she can slide me a couple. But
I'm guessing no.
No, she loves her job, and she just loves this racetrack. And look at that sweet lady.
A legend. Lightning, 103 years old, Juanita Epton.
Still going to work every day.
So here we are. Hey, inside of 15 laps to go. It's getting good.
We're still working, too.
We are. We're closing on 2 days in a row at the racetrack. What do we anticipate here? What are we watching?
I've just been watching Ryan Sieg with that fast forward, but with the aggressive blocks he's making. And now, can he continue to get away with those blocks? We know how tough it's going to be to do just that. And then Herbst, he's another driver right there up front that's been really, really aggressive.
Yeah, I like Riley Herbst's position here, and I'm like you with Sieg. All these blocks that he's made have been so close to being a problem. I just, as it gets more intense here, he might not get away with it.
You know what I love, Adam? We talked about all the Chevys in the race and the Chevys on the front row. We got 3 Fords that are pretty much taking up the front of the pack here lately, with Cole Custer joining those 2 on the front row. So it'll be interesting to see if the Fords can hang on or who wins this race.
Chevy's won 12 of the last 13, and it's all because of what we've talked about, the strength in numbers. But the only non-Chevy to win, when you talk about the last 7 or so years for the Xfinity cars at Daytona, was a Ford. Austin Cindric got it done, went on to win the championship. So he's quite the player, is Austin Cindric.
They've added a lap here for debris. A lot of these cars are running around with tape all over them, and some of the panels flapping in the breeze, and I say some of it has come off of one of the cars.
You think we're going to finish this race on Monday?
No,
we got 30 minutes. Yeah, we'll get it done.
It's Monday now. I thought you meant we're going to bleed into Tuesdays. What you were hinting at?
Right.
I really think we got a shot to do that.
I think so too.
Let's hope not.
There's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving over these next 12 laps when we go green.
I guess we're just going to leave here and go to Atlanta. Can I ride with you?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I brought my Airstream.
By the way, when Austin Cindric won here 2021, he was the reigning champ. So he won it in 20, got the title, came here to Daytona, and got that victory for Ford in the Xfinity Series.
Daytona and Austin Cindric go well together.
And look at this. And Cole Custer's been big time when it comes to an Xfinity car, 13 career wins, but the rest of the top 5 hadn't experienced a whole lot of victories. Chandler Smith got one last year at Richmond. We talked about Riley Herbst last fall at Las Vegas.
It's funny, I called Cole Custer this morning and said, what do you expect, buddy? And he started deep in the pack, and he said, I'm going to chill at first, but I feel like we'll surface at the front. Well, he was spot on.
He tends to do that. He winds up front when it counts. Austin Hill's got a lot of cars in front of him.
Well, flat tire, good call by him to get to pit road. We'll see if he can. Another car to watch is John Hunter Nemechek. He's stuck back there, but he's come to the front a couple of times. Maybe those two cars can get together.
25 cars on the lead lap. Going to restart with 12 to go. There's Nemechek.
He looks like he's racing Martinsville, doesn't he?
There's a handful of them that do.
Yes, sir.
Kligerman there, one of the pre-race favorites, started inside the top 5. Caught up in that early accident. Stayed in the game, but they're 2 laps down.
Sheldon Creed riding in the 10th position.
He thinks this place owes him one when you consider how it finished here last August. Just barely got beat by inches. Justin Allgaier edged him. We're adding a lap.
Again?
Well, lights are on.
Yep.
Got to report some debris in turn 2. It's been a busy weekend, and a few days for sure when it comes to Daytona and everything we've experienced. This was the big one into the Great American Race earlier tonight on Fox.
And William Byron was in the big one. Got a little push from behind, shot him into another car, and away they went.
Barely missed that one. Got to the line just in time.
That was tight.
That was very close.
Daytona 500 champion.
I mean, you're talking about feet. The difference between the caution being out before he takes the white, but because he had taken the white flag, caution comes out. The race is official. Byron leading, and he gets to celebrate his first win of the Daytona 500. And what a year ahead it's going to be for Hendrick Motorsports, celebrating 40 years and all they have meant to the history of NASCAR.
Williams, a young man out of Charlotte, North Carolina, that talked his dad, Bill, into taking him to the races in Charlotte, Martinsville, watching from the grandstands. And there's the 24 that will go down in history as one of the greatest numbers ever in NASCAR. William just adding to Jeff Gordon's legacy with that number.
Okay, looks like the lights are off on the pace car now.
Let's do it. See how this shakes out.
2 Fords out front. Ryan Sieg, Riley Herbst. A Toyota and a Ford behind them. Sage Karam, Cole Custer. The rest of the top 10. Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith, Allmendinger, Jones, Creed, and Truex. $11 to go in the season opener. Sammy Smith pulls out a line in the 8.
Nobody goes with him, though. This is going to cost him
dearly.
Thought maybe Justin Allgaier would jump up there. His teammate, he does not. Smith going in the wrong direction.
You can see how important that draft is. He pulled out, thought somebody to go with him, and just dropped to the back.
There's still a lot of time left. Still more than 10 laps to go.
Teammates in that inside lane. Cole Custer, white, red, and black, 00, pushing the 98 of Riley Herbst.
What about Sage Karam? What a run for that young man.
Hanging tough.
Sheldon Creed kind of leading that third lane up on the outside.
He's trying to make it happen, isn't he?
He's trying to, and he's got some help.
10 to go.
Don't forget about this guy. We've seen him drive through the field more than once tonight. And look at this run up the middle.
He's just got a nose for the lead, pushing Jordan Anderson in that red, white, and black number 32. The seas have parted. Here they come. Custer making a move to the outside of Ryan Sieg. And we understand the 98 of Riley Herbst going to be penalized for a restart violation, laying back on the restart.
Well,
that's going to be really costly. That was close. Yeah, you can't do that. NASCAR really looks down on this when you lay back and try to get a little bit of a run and go at it. They don't like that. They've warned these guys about it many, many times, so they don't give you a warning anymore. They penalize you.
Well, I'm really worried about this 98 car getting off the racetrack to serve this penalty.
Well, he's down on the bottom here. If he gives a good hand signal here, he might be able to get out of the way.
This is going to be really tough to pull off. Just watch.
Here's your push. Still bottom of the lead.
His teammate slapped the wall, and there goes Sage Karam. Another crash at Daytona. Justin Allgaier hopping through the grass.
What a mess is right, Andy.
Two of our top guys that'll be running for the championship involved in that.
Was that Austin Hill? There's Daniel Dye.
Had such a good night going.
Great run all night long. Karam went hard in the outside wall.
Yeah, he looks like he might be done.
Caution number 9.
See a lot of damage to the front of Custer's car. His splitter looks like it's gone. Yeah, that's not going to be good for him.
Damage for the 44, Brennan Poole.
Yeah, the 7's not too bad. They can probably patch this one up.
You know, this works out big for Riley Herbst because he was going to have to do a pass-through penalty. If we stay green, he's done. Now, you get the caution. He starts at the rear on the next restart with a bunch of good drivers eliminated. Don't write him off just yet.
And like Michael said, it was going to be difficult for him to get out of that pack on the pit road and make that stop for the penalty. So he got lucky.
Looks like Daniel Dye stuck in the mud over there on the back. Didn't look like a ton of damage to that 10 car, as you see the serious issues with the 00.
Got to figure out some way to get some air to the engine too.
And look at our scoring pylon. I mean, Herbst is shown up there. He'll have to serve the penalty, but Jordan Anderson, part-time, right? He's the boss, and he comes here. His father-in-law, Larry McReynolds, our colleague at Fox, is going to be his crew chief. Unfortunately, Larry can't crew chief the car because he had to go back to the studio and work the Daytona 500. And here Jordan is right at the front with a real opportunity to get his first career victory.
But that's Larry McReynolds' setup, right?
That's right. He's the one that got this car put in this position.
That's right.
Sage Karam right there. We see the highlight on him. He's up there in that outside lane. He's getting a big run. That's just too hard. You can't hit somebody from behind that hard. I know you need to be pushing and shoving to try to get some momentum, but that was just no way to kind of survive that.
Yeah. There are a lot of guys that did a great job sliding through there.
Jesse Love.
There's Daniel Dye spinning in the 10 car. Blaine Perkins slipping through.
Yeah, see that bump from Karam was just too much for Custer. He just couldn't hold on to it. Then it causes kind of a chain reaction.
Look at Truex, 4 wide on the bottom in the dirt. 44 off the ground with his front tires.
Yeah, Brennan Poole taking a hop there.
Sheldon Creed squeezing through, looks like. Jordan Anderson in the 32, right up the middle for the lead. You saw Austin Hill driving through that. He was ahead of the mess.
You see Cole Custer checking the mirror to see if he's going to get a push. He got one.
Man, that's such a horrible feeling. Listening to those crashes bring back a lot of bad memories, Andy. You wrecked a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
I don't think that was a compliment.
I don't think it was.
No, I mean, we all do. I mean, you know what I meant.
Look at Sheldon Creed.
That's awesome.
He's right in the middle of this somehow. Look at that.
Did you hear him use the gas, too?
Yeah, great job.
Put that all in my rearview mirror.
I just got a text from Larry McReynolds. He said, I just sent a text to the pit box that said, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
Let's go.
That was just a bad push by Karam. He had a big push from behind, and
yep.
Sometimes you just, you know, the push from the back could have been the problem for him.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell whether, you know, who's actually the one involved with those. Whether you're getting a bump from behind you that knocks you into somebody else, and makes it kind of hard to blame somebody.
Tell you, pit road's a busy place. Guys on and off. Herb served his penalty. Allgaier's getting more work on his car.
Herbst just dropped to the rear. Let's listen in.
Apparently, they're saying we laid back. I don't know. Yeah, because the leader's supposed to have rights, NASCAR. I'm not supposed to be ahead of the leader in the box. Of course I laid back. The leader's always supposed to have privilege.
Can't argue that.
No, but he did. But you do have to let the leader fire first, and it looked to me like the 98 fired first.
Regan?
Well, and Adam, that radio communication came well after the caution had come out. It took a while till they got the message to Riley that he had that restart violation. As you heard right there, he disagreed with it. He was not happy about it, but they ultimately decided to go ahead and top off the fuel. They were a little concerned about fuel. They kept telling him to save fuel up until that point, so now he doesn't have to worry about it for the last few laps here.
Daniel doesn't look like he's got significant damage, does he?
No, but he's stuck in the mud all the way up to the axle.
I'm surprised we haven't seen that more.
I think we got to get a tow truck for the tow truck.
Good.
He's sunk down in there. Pretty good with those rear tires.
If you're wondering how much rain we've had here the last couple of days in Daytona Beach, Florida, this might help answer the question.
Wonder no more. And now we taper it up. Spend countless hours, Andy, tuning these things, tweaking them to bring them to Daytona.
Just exactly right. Get that last little bit, and then you just wrap it up with tape and see what you got.
Seeing Cole Custer here, it reminds me of a season ago. We came to Daytona after going to Cup and winning a race and being Rookie of the Year. He came back to the Xfinity Series, and we all just knew he was going to be the man to beat. And they kind of struggled out of the gates. And
very surprising last year.
Couldn't find their way at tracks where you just felt for sure they would be the team to beat. But come June, July, they started putting the pieces together. Once they got in the playoffs, they got on an incredible run, wins Phoenix, and brings home his first championship. It was a fun run to the end of the year for them.
That was one of the coolest 2 laps of the year at Phoenix when Cole,
it really was.
Cole took off from the point, dropped all the way back to 3rd or 4th on that lap, and was able to charge through and get the victory. And that was just fun to watch. 3 wide at Phoenix. That doesn't happen much, and he was making it work.
Well, we're going to have inside of 5 laps to go when we go racing again. Let's go back and look at what happened last year. This was the final lap. Austin Hill racing 3 wide at the front. Sam Mayer goes upside down. And by that much, when the caution came out, Austin Hill made it back-to-back wins at Daytona in February. In August, we had another shootout to the finish. Justin Allgaier by inches over Sheldon Creed, who was driving the 2 at the time. 5/1000ths of a second. That was Allgaier's first win at Daytona, but it was the 8th for Junior Motorsports by 8 different drivers.
Wow. They have a good program here. 8 different drivers.
RCR with a good program as well. They've won here 8 times as an organization too, so that's the best when you talk about those 2 groups.
The old corn car looks pretty good from this side. It's in a mess on the other. Finally got Daniel out of the mud.
Yeah, they had to add a lap. They were going to go green there, but they couldn't get all that sorted out.
We did the choose. And Jordan Anderson went to the outside. He's going to have a Chevy behind him, and Austin Hill. Let's look back at what we've had so far. Long day here in Daytona for all these Xfinity teams. Thought they were going to race at 11 this morning. Rain wouldn't allow that. Went green 9 o'clock Eastern time, and it was on early.
That was a hard hit for Sam Mayer.
Daniel Suarez with some issues. The rookie by nose. Jesse Love takes the first stage.
You'll have the big one when you come to Daytona, and some big names caught up in this accident. Justin Allgaier racing for the lead, gets shot out of line.
Little debris off turn 2 that Cole Custer avoided, and they came together. As you see, Austin Hill, fast car, patched up. He gets the second stage.
And then here's Austin Hill running third gear, 100 miles an hour down pit road. Had to line up at the rear of the field after that one.
He's coming in hot. Been a crazy day for Austin Hill, and then this mess. Cole Custer just turned in the outside wall.
Yeah, nothing he could do. Just caused all the melee behind him.
Brandon Jones slipping through there, and watch this 44 Brendan Poole get caught. Watch it.
Yeah, he gets a little air right here.
Yeah.
Sage
Look at
Karam.
Yeah.
Sage Karam has been released from the care center.
That's good news.
He just came by, got the 1 to go signal. There'll be four remaining now. It'll be 3 to go when we go back racing.
Who you got? Who you got, Andy Pete?
Wow, I don't know. I like Austin Hill's chances. Lined up on the outside lane, number 2.
Jordan Anderson, runner-up here twice in the Craftsman Truck Series. Never won in an Xfinity car. Becomes a car owner. His team won last year when Jeb Burton got it done at Talladega.
And not only is Jordan on the front row, you see Parker Retzlaff right there in third row outside behind Jordan. And there's Austin Hill. And Retzlaff has been a big pusher today. He's had a lot of steam. Be interested to see if he can hang with Austin Hill. I think Austin's going places. I'm going to agree with you, Andy.
Ryan Sieg's been a good pusher too. We'll see what he can do. Maybe push Chandler Smith out front.
I want to report that Jeremy Clements has been released from the care center. Looking at the top 10, Jordan Anderson hasn't won. Chandler Smith, 1 career win. Ryan Sieg hasn't won. 1 victory in his career for Ryan Truex. Retzlaff hasn't won. Sammy Smith has 1 win. Sheldon Creed in the top 10. He's not been to victory lane. We could have a lot of fun at the checkered flag tonight.
I don't know if we'll have any more fun than if Ryan Sieg goes to victory lane, because I've already got a couple of texts from his dad, Rod, from the pit box. He said, we're going to get this thing. There's a lot of folks, Adam, that we see on a weekly basis that you know just how much it would mean to get this win at Daytona.
You just want the opportunity. Right here, these guys have it. I'll say anybody in the top 6 got a good shot at winning this.
Look at Jesse Love. He's back there in 12th right now. Blaine Perkins is 11th.
And he's missing a fender.
Pace car is in, 3 to go.
Come on, fellers. Let's run it green to the checkered.
Nice start for the inside lane. Chandler Smith gets the jump.
Watch that 21 when he gets her wound up, though, on the back of Jordan Anderson. They've got some steam. Look at them come.
Uh-oh. And everybody's juking and jiving down that backstretch.
Ryan Sieg hopped into the outside lane. Chandler Smith jumps up there. Big advantage for Jordan Anderson. Is he too far out front?
Yes.
This could work against him right here.
Yes, he got to roll off the gas.
There goes Austin Hill. Outside lane, drafting help from Chandler Smith. 2 to go at the line.
Still a lot of racing left. I know it says only 2 to go, but this seems like forever.
Yes.
Austin Hill's been through a lot tonight. So much back and forth. But the money's on the line. A lap and a half to go, and he's got that 21 out front again. Brandon Jones ducking to the inside lane, getting a push from Sheldon Creed.
Austin Hill's looking for that white flag.
Yes, he is. Riley Herbst is trying to rally after that penalty. He's up toward the top 5.
You like the Georgia Bulldogs? They're all Georgia boys up front right now. Hill, Chandler Smith, Brandon Jones. White flag is out. 1 to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Next flag will end the race. Austin Hill in front of his old teammate Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed's hungry for a win. Uh-oh.
There goes Ryan Sieg.
18, just watch 18.
That might do it.
Caution would end it.
No yellow. No yellow.
No yellow yet. Austin Hill out in front of Sheldon Creed.
Nobody's going to be able to get there yet. Here, 5 back 18, no yellow.
What an advantage on the final lap at Daytona. Sheldon Creed going to do it again. The Georgia drivers got the hat trick at the World Center of Racing. Austin Hill gets it done.
That's crazy. He has won 3 of these in a row.
Austin Hill able to win
Big
the race.
country, come on.
Look at that emotion.
That is really, really something else.
Isn't that just so real?
Oh.
Can't you just feel that?
Look at these guys. It's been a long day for these crews. Old teammates. They raced it
How
out
about
tonight.
that? Sheldon Creed was right there, and you thought he had a chance, and Austin Hill able to hold him off and win again.
What about Jordan Anderson Racing? A couple of top 5s for him.
That's Jay Bourne. He's one of the guys that kind of ramrods that Xfinity series. They build great race cars, man. I'm proud of them.
Dude, way to hang in there. Well, I thought we were out.
That's Creed's 8th runner-up finish. Still winless in his career.
That's amazing. Reminds me of Harry Gant back in the day.
I'm telling you, the last 3 races that Sheldon's run, it's been second. Second at Martinsville, second at Phoenix, and second here. You know, he's probably ready to get one of those checker flags. It's hard to beat this guy, though, when you get to Daytona.
RC, how about that? 3P at Daytona! Woo!
He's never lost one of these opening races at Daytona for us. That is just incredible.
Just doing some donuts in Daytona.
Yeah, he might need some help getting out of that grass here.
He's got a lot of help right there with him.
He's got plenty of help.
What a day for Austin Hill. Had so much adversity throughout the night. 7th career win.
Oh, they love him. That's Timmy Latiga, the car chief. These guys ought to be proud of this one. They patched that car up with tape, got him back out there,
Andy,
put him in position.
Very rarely do you tape one up and not all the tape fly off and let alone go to victory lane.
Exactly.
That's a great job by the team.
I'm really proud of him.
He should be. And that driver. How many times, Adam, did he slice through the field from the back?
Look at that car.
We never rode him off, though. We never lost faith.
He wouldn't let us. He kept coming to the front.
You look
I don't know
at
if he could do it at the end, but he did it.
Regan.
Austin Hill celebrates with his team as they walk away right now. Austin, I don't know that I've ever seen a race where a driver's gone through as much as you did. You had a crash early on. You fix that. You get a flat tire. Then you go to the back again. Multiple things, and you get your 3rd win at Daytona. How does this one feel?
Oh, I mean, it tops it off. 3P. I mean, you know how hard it is to win at Daytona? God almighty. You know, I don't know what was going on with me on pit road today, but my guys just kept telling me, look, man, dig deep. You're really good at these super speedways. I tried to screw it up on pit road, sped on pit road, slid through the box on the first stop. But, man, this Bennett Chevrolet was as fast as Xfinity 10G, that's for damn sure. Thank you for all these fans that stuck it out. I know it's late. I don't even know what time it is. I know it's past my bedtime, but we're about to party tonight, I can tell you that. I am so stoked. This is incredible. And to win, with it being the United Rentals 300, a longtime sponsor of mine, it can't get any better.
Austin Hill wins his 3rd straight at Daytona.
He said it. You guys know it. It's not easy to win here, and he's now done it 3 consecutive years in February. So impressive for Austin Hill.
And I just love the way he did it. I mean, he had a car that was tore up. He messed up on pit road. He never gave up. It was all about heart and passion, and he charged to the front repeatedly.
It was a team effort. I mean, you look at what those guys did. That pit crew put that car together, and he paid it off, man. He brought it right to the front, got the win.
Father of 3. And now he goes back to his home track where he will be the defending race winner from the springtime a year ago at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
There's the boss, man.
How about that, Richard?
Good to see that smile on his face.
That is so fun. Victory at Daytona. There's nothing like it.
Thank you guys for having me up here. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And what a fun weekend it was here in Daytona. Congratulations to all the winners. The Great American Race goes to William Byron. Austin Hill delivers in the nightcap. We'll see you next weekend in Atlanta. Truck Series gets things started with our doubleheader Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Xfinity Cars coverage begins at 4. We're racing at 5. And the Cup race is Sunday from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We were supposed to race on Saturday, delayed till this morning. We finally get going 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Monday night, and it was worth the wait. And when it was all said and done and the smoke had cleared, it was Austin Hill who went out and picked up his 3rd consecutive February win at Daytona, getting it done over his old teammate Sheldon Creed. Thank you for watching, and congratulations to Austin Hill.
Let's go!